Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Angel Santiago. I am live from Richmond Raceway. This is the Esports Broadcasting Network. I am joined today by Scott Poznansky. Scott, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Angel. How are you?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. Looking forward to another fantastic race here for the Ghost Cup Series presented by the Fort Worth Screen Printing Company. We're at a historic racetrack tonight, Richmond Raceway, under the lights. What are we looking at for tonight's race, Scott?
Yeah, Richmond is one of those tracks that I think holds a special place in a lot of racing fans' hearts. Very historic track. A lot takes place here historically. But more so, it's well known for a long time being that last race going into, the chase or the playoffs or whatever format you would like to call it. So it's one of those races that just gets associated with high intensity. And seeing what we've seen from these drivers so far this season, I have no reason to believe this race is going to be any different.
I could not agree more. It's going to be an exciting race tonight. We have 200 laps here in the Ghost 200. It's going to be very difficult for managing this. There's going to be a lot of cars. I think right now we've got almost 40 cars on track tonight. So it's going to be some tight racing throughout. And, it's a short track, but they say a race is like a super speedway. And you're going to see just that. You're going to see, super speedway-like crashes quite possibly because there really is just nowhere to go if a big accident happens.
Yeah, it's a very narrow track, and the way that these corners run, it's different from most short tracks. I would say, in a way, it almost compares to Bristol in the same sense. I think Bristol runs a lot faster than a track of its size deserves to run, and I think Richmond kind of falls in that same category.
That's very, very true there. We do have still about 4.5 minutes left in qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting started here just a moment or two earlier. We have a couple of birthdays in the house tonight for some of our drivers, and we're going to be doing a little bit of a parade lap beforehand, something the Ghost Cup Series likes to do. So we're going to get started a little bit early here on our side. We're going to go ahead and bring in Zach Woods, who does, of course, our invocations. Get our opening invocation done, our national anthem, and then give a little shout out to our birthday guys today. So let me go ahead and bring on in Zach Woods. Hey Zach, this is Angel and Scott here in the ESBN broadcast booth. You got us?
Yep, I got you. I'm right here.
All right, are you all finished with your qualifying lap yet?
Yes, I am.
All right, perfect. All right, Zach, go ahead and lead us in our invocation for tonight's race.
All right, let us pray. Almighty God, I thank you for the opportunity to meet new friends through technology that exists like iRacing. And tonight, Lord, as we take on Richmond, we thank you for the many friendships that we've been able to make through this league. And I just pray, Lord, that we show each other respect tonight, grant us wisdom and patience so that we can do that for this 200-lap race. And Lord, I pray that all of our conversations this evening are fruitful and beneficial in your sight. And it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Zach, as always. Good luck tonight. I see that your teammate David's not racing tonight.
Yep. He's at work right now, so he'll be rooting us on from the grandstands, I guess.
All right. Yep. He's watching on YouTube, already letting know good luck out there. So thank you once again, Zach, and good luck tonight.
Sounds great.
All right. So as you see, if any of you guys are watching here on our YouTube page, David Modestball, the driver, one of the drivers of that Spin Move racing team, along with Zach Woods, will be out for today's race. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna bring on our national anthem. So let's prepare.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed?
Here I'll go.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light proud stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched, for so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the brave and of the brave?
All right, spectacular as always, our national anthem. Thank you to Chris Hupka and the guys here at the Ghost Cup League, always providing a fantastic show for everybody. Hear the national anthem. I don't know about you, Scott, but it really does get me excited for a race.
Yeah, it's one of those things with any sporting event. You hear the national anthem start playing, and it gets you excited and ready. And with racing, it's like I know what's coming next, and that's those engines firing up and that green flag dropping.
Yeah, it reminds me of being at Daytona and just getting to, you're used to hearing the oh my goodness, the fighters going across along with that national anthem. It's a tone setter, and especially when it's the first race of the season too at Daytona, it feels so great. It's like, man, we get started for the next 8 or 9 months, nonstop NASCAR, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. I cannot wait. I mean, this league is, I'll be honest with you, the only thing getting me through right now these next couple weeks until we get to head to Daytona.
Oh man, I'm so excited. I just absolutely love it. It really does make for a great race. Right now, Robert Lawrence, it looks like he's going to be your pole sitter today. Let's go over the grid real quick, starting on the front row. Robert Lawrence with a 21.613. Alfred Denny, not too far behind here in the second position. TJ Roberts in row number 2, along with Kyle Spees. Row number 3 goes to Christian Roos and Trey Whitehead. DJ Daniel is back this week. Brock Whitehead running out the fourth row. Patrick Mcquaid and Jeffrey Vickery in the 5th row. And I will let you have actually, I'll go ahead and do this one. Sorry. Chris Reese and then Chris Hupko in that 6th row. And I'll let you take the next set here.
All right, starting in 13th position is going to be Zach Woods. Mark Gonzalez in the 14th position. Jonathan Leach and Travis Noble making up the next row in 15th and 16th. John Garrett starting on the inside in the 17th position. Chris Wheeler in 18th. Vernon Reese 19th. And Daniel Miglin rounding out the top 20.
You have Joe David and Cole Martin in that 11th row. Matthew Gusty and Kevin Gibney Jr. in the 23rd and 24th position. Wally Babb in 25th and Mike Corvo in 26th. In that 14th row, you have Ron Gardner and Cliff Corvo, Kyle Gardner and Wes Fuller, one of our birthday boys tonight, in the 30th position. Dylan McDonald, Charles Whitehead in the 16th row. Ricky Gonzalez, Nicholas Panico in the 17th row. In that 18th row, we're going to have Mike Salvanovsky and Brock Salvati. They're going to round out our field today. And as you see, DJ Daniel riding up front at the moment. It is DJ Daniels' birthday as well. So the Ghost Cup League running a little bit of a tribute for our birthday boys today. So happy birthday, DJ Daniel. Said hi, Dad, of course. And then let me find Wes Fuller. Wes Fuller looks like he's not going to pull up to the front of the field, but let's not forget that it is also his birthday for tonight's race. So couple of birthday boys today. We know one's a pretty darn fast one. We'll see what Wes Fuller has for them on his birthday. We got a stacked field again. 36 drivers in tonight's race. It's gonna be an exciting one, and I really can't wait to get going here.
Yeah, every time I think about Richmond, Angel, I get so excited to see what these corners are going to bring, who's going to end up in the Kyle Busch, Dale Jr. situation. And just all of the drama that has surrounded this racetrack in the best way as a fan. And like I said earlier, I think these drivers are going to replicate that tonight.
Could not agree more. Here we are. Lights are off on the pace car. We're going to drive here into 1 and 2. I'll go over your race info briefly here. Richmond Raceway to 0.72 mile track. It's going to be only 72 degrees for the ambient temperature. Nice, cool 74 degrees on track. 80% humidity, though, so we're really going to make this track a little slick. We're going to have an interesting one here. So we're getting ready to go green. Pace car and the drivers, they're diving down here into turn number 3. Pace car jumps off, and we're getting ready to go green. And we are live from Richmond Raceway for the Ghost Cup Series. Robert Lawrence gets us started. No, we're not going.
Lights back on the pace car.
Lights are on the pace car, yep. All right. A little premature there. Sorry, everybody.
And
I'm excited.
That
I
is
just want to
very
get going.
upsetting. Oh, what a buzzkill.
Where's our race control here? I'm gonna give somebody crap.
You know who I bet is more upset, Angel, is probably Robert Lawrence and Alfred Denny, who probably were laying on that gas pedal ready to go.
Yes. We'll bring Greg in later. Greg Wood is the race control for each one of these races every Wednesday night, and he has kindly accepted the opportunity to jump into the broadcast here every once in a while and explain what's happening. Aside from that, we're getting ready to go. Green flag racing. Green flag is out. Barney the flagman waves it. Green flag racing for the Ghost Cup. The Ghost Cup Series, for the Ghost 200 here at Richmond Raceway, presented by the Fort Worth Screen Printing Company. Robert Lawrence gets to a nice start. It's going to be a battle for second between TJ Roberts, Alfred Denny. Here comes Kyle Spees diving to the inside. Trey Whitehead's going to go ahead and give him some room as Kyle slides up the racetrack ever so slightly.
The 11 of TJ Roberts really trying to find a way to get past some of those cars, and he does, kind of trapping Alfred Denny on the outside. But who this has really benefited the most is that 34 of Robert Lawrence being able to get a good jump early on.
Oh, you see some sparks already. A couple cars getting into that wall coming off of turn 2. Something very easy to do, and we do have our first caution of the day. Oh, nope, that was not it. My apologies here. Let's see where to jump in here to Kyle Gardner, number 49. Oh, Gardner gets loose, and the 39 gets loose. A couple people behind him, nowhere to go. Some damage as well. Heavy contact, I think, is that the 80? I don't think there's an 88 here. Let's see, the 39 of Ron Gardner gets loose here and collects, heavy damage. Looks like everybody else mostly gets through. I think Nicholas Panico is going to escape because of some netcode there. Oh, it's Mike Corvo. Heavy front-end damage for him.
Man, this is one of those things at a track like this you hate to see early on. Hopefully that damage can be repaired on pit road and doesn't end up being a fast repair, because there's still 195 laps of racing, and on a track, like you said earlier, Angel, that races like a super speedway, you cannot afford to have to burn your fast repair this early on.
No, you do not want to at all, but it's going to be heavy damage. Honestly, with a track like this, the power isn't necessarily going to be there. As a matter of fact, maybe a little bit less power might benefit you from maybe spinning out off of one of these corners. So I would hold off on that fast repair until absolutely necessary.
Yeah, definitely. This is one of those tracks, just the way these corners are banked, you might be able, like you said, get off the corners a little bit easier, a little bit more aggressive on the throttle, not having to worry about the tire spin, and might be able to drive a little bit further into the corner, obviously carrying less power as well. So we'll see what these drivers decide to do as far as this damage is concerned.
All right, we got quite a few people joining in on our chat here. Looks like we'll start off with Brandon Hughes Racing. We know he's jumped in each one of our races as usual, rooting on the 29 of Matthew Gusty. And then we have looks like Bad Influence as well as rooting him on. We got Johnny Williams rooting on for Chris Hupka, the number 5, the boss man. We already mentioned David watching with us. Ellen Fuller rooting on all the Titletown Racing boys. Let me jump over and see who exactly is the Titletown guys. Still getting used to everybody here. Team rosters. Title town is Wes Fuller. All right, birthday boy. Dylan McDonald, Nicholas Panico, Ricky Gonzalez, and Mark Gonzalez. And then running out, of course, Noah Owens supporting his team with the Blue Motorsports, the 34, 96, 22, and the 6. Dana is rooting on for the number 22, Mike Sabanovsky. Quite a few watchers today. We appreciate everybody jumping on and watching. Make sure if you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, whatever you got to do so you can remember to watch us each and every night of the week. We've got many races going on. Right now, this one's getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. This will be completing lap 6, heading on to lap 7. 193 laps to go. We are back. Green flag racing.
And the 34 of Robert Lawrence, just like last restart, getting a really good jump. That inside lane stacking up just a little bit behind him. Lawrence definitely going to lead that field onto the backstretch as they start to go single file.
TJ Roberts got a pretty good run there off of turn 2. Got right up to the back bumper here of the 34. It's looking like he's going to try to make some room here. I was talking with some of the drivers. We got some battling happen right behind. I believe it's the 14 Christian Roos. Yes, and Brock Whitehead. Those swap spots there. It was quite interesting. They were saying, tire wear wasn't all that big of a concern in tonight's race. They felt like they can go quite a few laps without some major tire fall off due to the setup that was given to them for tonight's race. So maybe saving tire isn't as big of an issue as usual. Maybe just you just got to go fast for as long as you can.
Yeah, and I think that's an interesting strategy as compared to some of the races we've seen so far this season, especially Atlanta, where, as we all know, tires play a big factor. But at a racetrack like this, tire management is a little bit less important, as it is just making sure you're in the right place at the right time. And you see some of these passes these drivers are making in the corners. It really is a situational kind of race. And just making sure you're in that right situation at the right time is going to be the main focal point.
Yeah, I think you couldn't have said it better right there. Being in the right spot at the right time is going to be very important for a lot of these drivers just to try to get through. You see a lot of these guys back here kind of taking it slow, just don't want to be involved in anything. But, you can't be back here taking it too slow either, because if there is no wrecks, it's a short track. You're going to have the leaders on your bumper not too long. As you see, Robert Lawrence has already pulled off to about a 1 second lead as Kyle Speeds take second away from TJ Roberts.
Yeah, and this is one of those situations on a short track like this where it's not necessarily the clean air effect like you may see at a track like Charlotte or maybe even Atlanta. But what this is those drivers having to battle and run particular lines to fight off those moves coming from drivers around them. And Robert Lawrence, in a way, does have that metaphorical clean air of not having to worry about anyone trying to compete with his spot. And that's what's giving him the advantage right now.
Well, and dirty air will affect these cars ever so slightly in these turns if you're right behind somebody, because there isn't a ton of grip. The 14 Christian Roos looks like he's a little bit sideways there. He's gonna hang on to it. Allows birthday boy DJ Daniel to get up under him. DJ, he missed last week, wasn't able to make it home in time for the race, and even though he won at Daytona, I think I heard he dropped like 18 or 19 spots. So you're going to have to really be able to come out here and really be consistent. Maybe it doesn't have to be a top 10 every race, but you want to be at least in the top 15 if you plan on making the playoffs here.
Oh, definitely. And DJ Daniel, despite missing that race last week and, like you said, dropping so far in the points, already putting in the work he has to this week. Qualify 7th. He's still running in the 7th position. And, for someone who missed the race and, like you said, fell in the points, that's exactly the situation you want to put yourself in early.
Yeah, right now you see mostly everybody staying single file. This is something that you tend to see in a track where, it's very difficult. It's known for being very, very loose off of the turns, where everybody's expecting a big. Oh, and there goes a 39. There goes Ron Gardner again. Heavy contact for him. He's going to bring out the second caution of the day here on lap 16.
Yeah, and before this caution comes out, you see a lot of lap cars starting to trickle in past the leaders. And as I was watching, this wasn't the type of situation where these lap cars were simply in the position to get lapped. There must have been some kind of checkup that we missed that set cars like the 28 of Charles Whitehead was one I saw to be in that position to get lapped so early on in this green flag run.
Man, heavy damage there for Ron Gardner. But you're right, we're starting to see currently Ron Gardner, looks like Charles Whitehead and Cliff are all currently at least one lap down. Brock Salvati did not start the race tonight. He was in the 36th position. So it looks like, yep, Gardner and Whitehead are a lap down each. You see Gardner coming down pit lane, and Corvo's 6 laps down. Not exactly sure what happened to him. I didn't think he had too heavy contact in that first one, but looked like he did at one point, yes.
Yeah, and that's one of those situations where when you're in the lucky dog position, there's really no reason not to pit. If you take tires or not, obviously that's more of a strategy prerogative. But from the lucky dog, there's very little reason, if not any, to not at least come down and top off the gas tank and get a fresh window tear off and maybe fix some damage if you have it.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a clear as day situation. Brandon, in our YouTube page, we don't have these stats up here on our overlay files. We would have to get some more things from Hupka. We try not to bother him too much more. He's got a very busy setup, but I absolutely could bring in the standings for you and just kind of give you an idea. Let's see here.
That's going to be on the 39. He's going to receive an EOL.
All right, everybody. That was Greg Wood, our race control tonight's race. He was saying the 39 will receive the EOL. This league does, in fact, give EOLs when you bring out a caution. So, Greg, thank you for joining us. How's it going?
Oh, not too bad. A little eventful, a little not. I was expecting a lot more cautions already, but they're doing not too bad.
Yeah, we were just talking about how, it feels like one of those situations where everybody's expecting a caution, so everybody takes this so clean, and then we end up not having a caution to start the race.
Yeah. I mean, Chris did make it the Richmond Open setup instead of the Richmond Fix setup, which everybody practiced the Fix setup throughout the week, so their feathers are kind of ruffled about that. But I mean, all in all, it's not bad.
Yeah, one of those simple things where it really isn't hard to click on the wrong setup when you're doing it. God knows I've done it how many times as well.
Oh yeah. Well, y'all have fun. I'll see you next caution.
Appreciate it, Greg. Thanks for jumping on in.
Take care.
See ya.
All right, what I'm going to do here is actually... Oh, I'm sorry, everybody. That came up a lot bigger than it was supposed to. You know what? We'll go ahead and drop this one out for now. Trying to pull up the standings for everybody. And yes, Matthew Gusty is currently in the 20th position, but the difference from him up 10 spots is not a big difference points wise. So it's going to be very easy again to gain quite a bit of points in these early races where you really want to be consistent and trying to reel off some decent finishes, so that while you have a large car count like this, you're able to make up a ton of spots in the standings early on.
You see these drivers are now doubled up, lights off on the pace car, coming in on the backstretch now, but looking to go green once they make it back around. Angel, I don't know about you, but these restarts have been really entertaining so far, and I cannot wait to see what this one brings again, especially as these tires are starting to wear out and these drivers are starting to settle into this setup in this track. Yeah,
no, it's very entertaining when you can line up these cars side by side, because the drivers are quick to go single file to stay away from each other. But here we are on a green flag here on a restart. We are back racing. Green flag is back out. Robert Lawrence with a nice jump. And Kyle Speed's going to stay right up here next to him. We'll see, can he put on a fight from the outside? We haven't seen many be able to put up a fight, and I think Lawrence has got the run. Oh my, I thought we were going to have some contact with the wall there with Kyle Spees.
Yeah, and you saw the 11 of TJ Roberts starting to peek on the inside of Spees, not able to hold the line, but definitely notable that Roberts is looking to challenge from that inside line, because Kyle Spees, this is now multiple times he's gotten a great jump from further back than first place on these restarts.
Yeah, and you see him. He's already starting to peek, trying to find somewhere where he can maybe get up on the back bumper of Robert Lawrence, maybe start rattling his cage ever so slightly. I know it's early on in this race, but it's entirely possible still. You want to get up front and want to be up front for as long as you possibly can.
Yeah, and Robert Lawrence has been doing a great job of just controlling this tempo of this race, and like you said, Kyle Spees is starting to challenge that. And if I'm Robert Lawrence, I have to be wondering, do I just continue to run my line? Do I see what else I have to give? Or do you just continue doing what you're doing and not let the noise coming from behind you bother you?
Right now, speaking of that noise behind, we got quite an interesting battle here for the 6th position. You have Alfred Denny in that number 2 Ford Mustang trying to hold off DJ Daniel. Looks like he will be able to here coming off of turn 2. They're going to line up now nose to tail as they're trying to get past some of these other cars around them. You have some more battling right here. You have the number 4 of Daniel Miglin. He was battling there for a moment with Chris Reese for that 12th position. Right back there, you see Zach Woods, of course, giving our invocation in tonight's race and his Christian iRacers. Oh, no, Zach's loose. Can he lock it up? Oh, that's not heavy contact, but, man, what an unfortunate situation right there.
Yeah, and it looks like so far we're going to stay green for the time being. Zach is able to get it back rolling, losing quite a bit of spots, but, I suppose that's a situation that could have been much worse.
It really could have been, and you see that left front kind of crumbled in a little bit, but it doesn't look too terrible. It doesn't look like it's going to hurt him too much at the time. So we'll see what he looks like now. We'll go back up to the front here. Oh, you see the 24 of Mark Gonzalez. I say the 28. I see this Texaco paint scheme, and I thought it was 28. So I think it's just a force of habit, really.
Mark Gonzalez has really been treating us this year with these paint schemes. I noticed this scheme when I was watching qualifying. The nice little throwback, paint scheme, like you said, to the 28. And, man, I got to tip my hat. And speaking of Mark Gonzalez, loose into the grass, going to bring it back up on the track and save it.
Wow.
Great job by Mark Gonzalez being able to control that coming out of a really difficult part of the racetrack and not collecting anyone else.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and back this up here and follow Mark Gonzalez coming off of turn 4. You see he's got John Garrett right behind him. He just gets super loose. Holds the brake. I mean, he's still driving it. I don't think he ever held the brakes there. He was driving that thing still. Wow.
And like I said, I got to tip my hat to Mark Gonzalez on that. That is an excellent save.
Yeah, that was wheeling it right there. So he drops it out to the 18th position, but no further damage added to that car. Looks like that damage just from a previous restart. Seems like. And I'm now seeing that Aflac logo on the back. It doesn't remind me. I do believe he had the Aflac Carl Edwards paint scheme last week, right?
Yes, that sounds correct. Like I said, I got to thank Mark for these throwback schemes. I am really enjoying them week by week.
All right, going back over here, you see DJ Daniel still looking to get around Alfred Denny, but Alfred is looking to try to get past here. Brock Whitehead, a battle for the 5th position right now. DJ and Christian Roos right behind Al are just waiting for Al to make a mistake while trying to make this pass. And you see DJ go to the high side. Al touches the apron, and I think it's going to allow DJ to get up next to him coming off of turn 2. And DJ is going to have a pretty good run. I think Al's just going to go ahead and give it up.
Yeah, and this is one of those where, you want to be in that position, but you are still only on lap 32, now 33 of a 200-lap race. You do not want to make a mistake right now or burn your stuff up trying to hold up one position. Sometimes it's just easier to let them go.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to let them on by and, keep fighting until another day. We'll keep on rooting. You see Christian Roos now to his outside. Let's think Al's just going to go ahead and let him on have this one. Here comes John Garrett behind these two drivers. John Garrett is now moved up 8 spots in the race, having started back in the 17th position, which I found a little odd for John. I don't know if he had maybe a mistake in his qualifying. John's usually one of those guys who qualifies really well, but making his way up the field slowly, methodically, as does John.
Yeah, this is one of those tracks where, qualifying can be really tricky because if you come out with these tires cold, especially at night, coming off of turn 4, like we saw with Mark Gonzalez earlier, you can get a little loose, and with where that start-finish line is, it's not perfectly symmetrical with that front stretch. So I certainly would not think less of any of these drivers based on their qualifying times, because this is certainly a race of consistency. Just looking at the timing right now, we've got 4 drivers already in the top 10 that have gained at least 15 positions in this race. So being able to hold that consistency is what's going to be the biggest difference maker in this event.
Yeah, it's going to be important trying to stay up front. I mean, obviously Robert Lawrence, being your leader, doing a great job staying up front right now. Got himself about a 1.4 second lead currently over Kyle Spees. You saw Kyle Spees put some pressure early on, but Robert just pulled away. Talked with Robert a little bit before the race, and he had mentioned he had a truck race here on Monday night at Richmond in which he won that race. So the overall feel for the track, even with it being a different car, putting all those laps in race, and, obviously he's now got the confidence at a track like this. Going to go very far for him, and here 38 on the 38th lap, still our leader.
Yeah, the one thing that's going to be interesting, though, seeing how this green flag run plays out, is what Robert Lawrence is going to do as he starts to approach these lap cars. He has the potential to either quickly maneuver these cars and put even more distance between himself and then Kyle Spies and Trey Whitehead in second and third, or get bogged down trying to get around them, allowing Spies and Whitehead to catch back up.
Yeah, putting lap cars between you and the rest of the field is going to be, as you said, very important. And the question is, though, how many of these lap cars are going to be willing to just move over? I mean, you got to stay in the lead lap. It's a hard track to get your laps back if we got some long green flag runs, as we're so far seeing right now.
Yeah, Angel, in my personal opinion, at a track like this, you have to give the leader everything you have if you're, the next car to be a lap down. And then if you do get past, you have to put the pedal to the floor and make sure you stay behind that leader to ensure you're the lucky dog if you do go that lap down. There is no room for error, like you said, because of how difficult it can be to get your lap back at a track like this.
Right there you saw lap car 84 of Cliff Corvo. He did not have a great start to this race, receiving some heavy damage. You see the car still there with heavy damage, just letting our leaders go on by. Oh, looks like our leader just gave a small little kiss to that wall there in the backstretch.
Yeah, that backstretch wall can be deceiving. It is not perfectly straight. So, when you get into the routine of the race and you're kind of just going through the flows like Robert Lawrence maybe right now, it's very easy to just kiss that backstretch wall.
Going slowly through your field here, you see a couple of battles. You said everybody kind of keeping it mostly calm. Jonathan Leets and Patrick Mcquaid battling side by side. Patrick last night won in the American Truckers League, actually, here on the Esports Broadcasting Network at Daytona. So getting off these couple days here on a roll for Patrick Mcquaid, looking to maybe carry some of that momentum into tonight. He's down 5 spots from where he started, up in the 9th spot. Currently running in 14th as he just finally got back past Jonathan Leach, who started right where he's at in that 15th position. Kind of rolling through your field here. You see one of our birthday boys, Wes Fuller. He's got Matthew Gusty in that number 29, that black 29 Chevrolet. Of course, giving you those early Kevin Harvick year vibes.
Like I said, Angel, I love these schemes. That black 29 is awesome. Obviously, a little bit more later in Kevin Harvick's run with RCR. That reminds me a lot of like the was it? He had Budweiser at that point, right? The solid black Budweiser.
Yes,
scheme.
that was a beautiful paint scheme.
Yeah, one of my favorites. Obviously I've always admired the Dale Jr. Budweiser schemes, but you cannot sleep on Kevin Harvick's Budweiser schemes. Budweiser, as a sponsor, has done a really good job creating paint schemes for these drivers.
Yes, they have. You see some of our other favorite cars, and look, you got a big pile of cars back here. You see Zach Woods currently going one lap down after his contact with that wall earlier. He's done a good job. Oh, he's going to slide up the racetrack a little bit. Robert Lawrence still giving him plenty of room to avoid being any issues.
Yeah, and this is one of those situations that we talked about earlier, Angel, where Robert Lawrence is the leader and, Kyle Spies, Mark Gonzalez behind him, the guys who are pushing to get through this field. They need to be mindful of these lap cars and, quite frankly, why these lap cars are lap cars. These tires may be fatigued from, avoiding collisions, maybe off the pace, there may be damage, and just recognizing that you are the faster car, you're the superior car, and it's your position, it's your duty, to put yourself in a position to get past these cars because they may not be at full strength.
Yeah, it's always best to let somebody race their race, and then you just kind of find a way around. Just overall, generally helps. I never, so you don't always want to put them in a spot where maybe they're not used to, putting them in a lane they haven't run in right next to you for the first time. It's like, oh, how tricky that can be. So just stick to what you're good at and let me find my way around you.
As we continue to work through this field, I just want to point out one more time that beautiful 55 car of Nick Panico, that solo cup design. This is, I think, the third straight week about it, but I cannot not talk about it.
Yeah. Oh, and here we go. We got a caution. Here goes. We're now a quarter of the way through the race. All right. Don't know exactly what happened here. Let's see. Looks like this is Trey Whitehead, the number 33. Oh, Trey Whitehead's going to get sideways off of that turn. Off of turn 4, you see Trey Whitehead getting sideways. Hold on to it. Nope. Still just sliding through the grass here. Doesn't look like that was the reason for the caution. Let's see if I can find something else. Yeah, don't quite see what all happened there.
Yeah, I'm not quite seeing anything else. I wonder if it was just kind of a precautionary thing.
Oh
given
my
Trey
goodness,
Whitehead.
it is a stage break, everybody. Woo, my bad. I'm sorry, everybody.
Angel, angel, angel.
Oh, it was a stage break. And I was talking about the stages beforehand, too. It's like, oh, don't worry. I'm going to remember this time.
Oh man, I mean, if it makes you feel any better, I also forgot. But that said, you see a lot of these leaders coming to pit road. The 34 of Robert Lawrence taking advantage of his qualifying run, having that first pit stop. That could play a factor later on in this race, being able to just very quickly get right off pit road from that first stall.
Yeah, and I'd say the same thing for, anybody maybe like Alfred Denny and TJ Robertson at second and third position there. Should get a decent run off of that pit lane here. You see them here. You see DJ Daniel, I believe, coming off here in third. Oh, most contact there between the 62 and I couldn't quite tell who was next to 62. I think that was the number 6 of Chris Wheeler.
I need to shame. Hold on, I'm trying to find who it was. I'm a little disappointed in one of our drivers right now for taking out. It was the 36 of Kyle Spees. Taking out that beloved green cone at the end of pit road.
Oh, my goodness.
When he pulled out of his pit stall. It was such a strange thing to get frustrated about, but you got to respect the cones.
Yeah, I think the orange. I think that would be would that be the cousin of the orange cone?
Yeah, I think the cousin.
That sounds about right. Cousin of the orange cone. Wouldn't be too happy about that. Vernon Reese, the 00, actually did not pit. He stayed out. Don't know if he's going to pit this time around. If he just maybe stayed out to get a couple of laps led. I guess we're going to see here in just a moment. As you see just a gaggle of lap cars around him.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting restart to see how this goes. Obviously, once these cars start to sort through, some of these cars will go to the back. Some are gonna, they'll double file up. But you're seeing different strategies start to play out early, and these lap cars definitely play a factor in that. And these drivers are well aware. We're already a quarter of a way through this race, so it's going to be interesting to see what the strategy is on this restart for some of these drivers.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see the number 5 of Chris Hupka coming around. Each week he's got himself a different candy car. So I think Twix was the first week. I think he had M&M's last week, and this week being Starburst. So I'm gonna imagine maybe Snickers might be the next one.
I'm gonna throw myself out there for Milky Way.
Ooh, that's also pretty good. I like candy, anyways, regardless. So
Yeah, I'm not a huge chocolate person, but that's all right.
all right, so we are now 54 laps into this race, kind of right now currently under pacing. Caution was in fact for the first stage break, finishing up there. The next stage break is going to be at lap 100, and the final 100 laps are going to be, well, we'll see how long they go green for. We had a pretty good green flag run there. Almost feel like you almost didn't want to bring the caution out. Just keep letting these guys run out there.
Yeah, I'll be honest. The end of the stage kind of caught, I think, both of us by surprise, obviously. But it was good quality green flag racing, and that lights are back on the pace car. I almost got excited there. Not as bad as you at the beginning of the race, but almost got excited.
Yeah, you almost couldn't stop me there. And then right now, Brandon, do appreciate the camera angles. Yes, the camera angles are some of the best. I absolutely enjoy them. And as always, I had to give a big shout out to Frank over at the Esports Broadcasting Network, putting on some fantastic camera angles for us here. Cliff as well here. Cliff being one of the men in charge. He also puts on some pretty good camera angles for everybody.
Yeah, it's an excellent production going on behind the scenes. These camera angles, gotta love them.
Looks like Vernon Reese is stopped on the front stretch. Oh, I think he went around with the lap cars, and he's got to stay behind the pace cars. I think that's what we're waiting on here. That's maybe why the yellow had to be extended.
Yep, and we've gotten the yellow extended one more time. So still looking 2 laps to go to green at this point.
Looks like he's going to take an EOL.
All right.
Or not. I don't know. We'll see here in just a moment. It's almost the same. You see the 00 reminds you of Starcom Racing, and while they weren't very successful on track, they had some fantastic looking paint schemes every race almost.
Yeah, I was thinking of the one actually. As soon as you said the 00, the first thing that came to mind was their I want to say it was like an 8-ball type scheme.
I have to go back. I don't quite remember that one, but we are green flag racing once again. Vernon Reese is gonna get this field going here.
We are not.
No, we're not
lights
going
are back
green.
on.
Yep, lights are back on. I don't think Vernon Reese was quite lined up in time there. Yeah, it's very tricky, guys. If you're watching, this track is very tricky to get lined up, especially when you've got all 35 cars still on track here. Trying to get everybody lined up side by side, it can be very, very tricky here. So let's give it a moment or two. We'll get back to some green flag racing here in just a moment. Here comes the pace car, that Ford Mustang pace car. I want to update it to the new one already. Yeah, I don't quite see what's happening here. Give it a moment, everybody. I think this time Vernon Reese will, in fact, take an EOL.
Yeah, and at this point in time, iRacing has it right. Let's not be coy here. iRacing knows what it's doing. But obviously communicating that across 35 drivers can be a little tricky at times, especially on these short tracks.
Yes, and that's what makes the job for Greg Wood. I think, Greg, are you in here now?
You want the details?
Yeah, let's go ahead and bring in the details here.
All right, so basically, Vernon was the lucky dog. Didn't say anything to anybody. I scored him as the leader, so I tried to get him to the front of the field, and then he's like, "Oh, well, I was the lucky dog." So then we had to reset again and send him to the back of the field.
Oh, there we go. Alrighty.
Good to know. And the green flag is out. The 34 of Robert Lawrence bringing him to the green flag, but the 36 of Kyle Spies getting a great run on that outside, but as we've seen all night, that inside lane just able to overpower through 1 and 2.
Big time overpower. We see all these cars come flying off of turn 2, down here into turn 3. Kyle Spies is going to have to make his way around Robert Lawrence. You see, we saw at the end of that long run there, Robert has some very good long run speed. So Kyle's going to have to find his way around him, and maybe even Trey Whitehead right behind. But you got Trey Whitehead, DJ Daniel, a couple of our winners this season. So we got some of our winners already starting to spread out here.
Yeah, and this has to be so frustrating at this point for the 36 of Kyle Spies. He's had such phenomenal restarts. I would say, in my opinion, probably better restarts than our leader Robert Lawrence has had. But it just goes to show how difficult passing can be here, especially coming off of a restart.
Yeah, it is. It's just a ton of fun, honestly. Getting to see these cars come off of these restarts. I mean, it's hard because when you're not the leader, this is a very slick track, very easy to spin your tires. So trying to time it with the leader is so difficult to do. The leader can really play some mind games with you. As speaking of that, Robert Lawrence has put down the fastest lap of the day by any driver, a 21.61. So blazing fast, but Kyle Spies is still all over his back bumper here early on in this run.
Yeah, and as soon as I saw that fast lap, speaking of 36 of Kyle Spies, goes around on the front stretch. Caution is out. It looks like just kind of overdrove it too hard coming out of turn 4 and just couldn't hang on to it.
Man, watching over that one right as it happened, perfect timing, Scott, on that call. You see, you're just all it takes is just drive it a little bit too hard, and there you go. You're sliding sideways here.
Yeah, and it's funny how this conversation and that caution plays out, Angel. I was actually just about to say that I'm curious how much Robert Lawrence laying down that fast lap was less about him driving the fast lap as it was Kyle Spies really kind of bullying him from that second place position. And then, of course, Spies loses it coming out of 4. So just to show, those two are really pushing each other to drive faster and drive harder at this point.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to make this the slightest bit of a mistake there. And, of course, it happened for Kyle Speeds. But we expect to see him back up front soon. Great looking paint scheme once again. I'm telling you, man, the paint schemes in this league are just unreal. They are just some talented painters.
Yeah, and I really love, speaking of our leader, the 34 of Robert Lawrence, I really do like that paint scheme. I think I get the vibes. That's a very satisfying brown shade.
I think it's more goldish almost.
It looks like a gold, or maybe like a rose gold, maybe.
No, it's a little darker than rose gold.
Yeah, some kind of a metal brush though, and that's a really nice look. And then even right behind him, the 33 of Trey Whitehead, just that black and yellow, just a very classic, very intimidating look.
Yep, and then you got DJ Daniel in his very bright pink race car here. It's a fantastic paint schemes all throughout. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, and the one thing I love doing too is looking at the drivers and their number fonts. I mean, you look at the top 4 in here, and you can tell exactly which car they pulled that font off of, and I think it's just a beautiful nod to some great real-life paint schemes to have those number styles out there.
Oh, of course.
Especially looking at the 33 of Trey White and the 31 of Brock Whitehead. I mean, that number 3
RCR.
I think goes without saying. Yeah.
Yeah, those RCR numbers stand out pretty well. Of course, the 34 pulling his from that of the 34 of Michael McDowell.
That font actually looks kind of like a Stuart Haas font.
No, Michael McDowell's got that font as well.
Is it?
Stuart
Okay.
Haas font.
Is
Is
it?
it? Okay.
It is?
Yes.
I was gonna say the white roof number. I think that was a Tony Stewart thing.
You know what? Okay, maybe the 4 got me a little bit. This the 3 isn't maybe. Yeah, I see a little bit more now.
Yeah, and then even if you look back at the 96 of DJ Daniel, you get I at least I'm getting vibes of that Trackhouse font in that.
Well, no, because the Trackhouse has that 9, has a different 9. No, you're thinking of. I'm thinking more of the who drives the 96 now? The Gaunt Brothers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Correct driver, just wrong year. Let's see. Well, Al had to be different, not have the number 2 on there.
Yeah, I'm looking at the 11 of TJ Roberts, also a different number font. But you know what? Dare to be different. I love it.
No, of course. I mean, making things work all throughout. You know, you'll figure it out. The 14 doesn't look good. 6 isn't the same. 4 is very different.
Looking at the 6, though, I want to go back to that for a second. Just that beautiful powder blue and orange, just a very classic, color combination in racing.
Oh yeah, and especially for Fords, a big one for Fords. Ooh, I don't know what happened.
Absolutely.
There. Something happened here. Oh, I thought I heard something, but
I'm impartial to the 00 car. Well, it's beat up now, but I'm just impartial to it.
I was actually about to make a comment about the 66 of John Garrett as well. Just such a simple yet effective paint scheme.
Goodness, I was thinking about that earlier.
I did that in 5 minutes.
Yeah?
Yeah, he before the first race, he's like, I need a paint, and my painter's busy. Just throw some logos on the car and go. I said, okay.
I just love the simplicity of it.
10 out of 10.
Yeah,
I only did 2 out of this field. I think I did the 66 and the 00.
All right, Scott, we're getting ready to go green flag racing once again. Pace cars down pit lane, and we are green once again. Robert Lawrence, spinning his tires. Trey Whitehead's going to take the lead.
Yeah, Trey Whitehead gets a great jump and is going to be able to really try to control that field going into 1 and 2. Obviously not able to clear Robert Lawrence right off the bat, but does clear him going down the backstretch, and he's going to be your leader going into turn 3.
We've got ourselves a new leader. Go from the 34 to the number 33. Trey Whitehead, last week's winner. Up to the point here. He's going to take the lead in the restart from the outside. And as we complete our 70th lap here on lap 71, we've got another caution here.
And those leaders were just ready for war coming off of that green flag. I mean, even beyond the 33 and the 34, the 31 of Brock Whitehead, the 96 of DJ Daniel, just side by side.
Oh, I see here exactly what happened. Looks like, and for those wondering what that car is, it was simply a painter's mistake. On that 86 of Jonathan Leets. So let's see. Jonathan now driving here.
EOL on Jonathan Leets.
Yeah, looks like he got into the 24, tried slowing up, and when he slowed up, he got into the 77 of Patrick Mcquaid. Everybody does a great job of getting around Patrick overall, though. Who was that? It came flying through on the outside. That was, I don't know how he didn't hit him.
Patrick's having a rough night.
Yes.
His,
I think so.
his chat is currently disabled.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Okay, that tells us all we need to know.
Oh, look at Cliff Corvo. Oh, on board. I know he just barely taps the wall, but he's just going to barely make it through that one. He's having a rough night. Luckily, didn't make it worse right there. All
Angel,
right.
I just want to let
Yeah.
you know, real quick, as we were talking about those paint schemes, and you and I had that debate about that very beautiful bronze car of Robert Lawrence, and I made the mistake of saying that it might be a rose gold, which, now that I look at it, I don't know where that thought ever came from, but I just wanted to point this out. I thought you'd get a kick of it. I got a text from my girlfriend saying that is not rose gold with not in all caps, so...
I wasn't going to give you crap for it. But, yeah, I
It's
figured...
Brush copper.
Any girl watching would have told you quickly that was not rose gold.
Brushed copper, thank you, Greg. That is actually 100% accurate. Thank
There
you
you
for
go.
that.
I was gonna give you the benefit of the doubt on that one, Scott. Don't worry, I wasn't gonna call you out for it.
You know, it's the lights, okay? It's, you know, I was just looking at it from the wrong camera angle. It's okay.
I will give you a break on that one. Man, these drivers, they're eager. They want to get back. Excuse me, green flag racing.
Yeah, and Robert Lawrence, I think he's obviously a very patient driver, great guy, but I think he's at the point right now where he's probably pulling hair out trying to think, how can I get around the 33 of Whitehead getting back, you know, when we go green and getting that lead back.
Well, I mean, he can take the lead just the way Trey Whitehead took the lead, you know. As a lead car here, it's really kind of a mix. I mean, you can kind of take it slow and let everybody stay up with you, or you can risk it and really try getting on the throttle quickly and pulling away from the field, clearing you easily for first. However, as you saw Robert Lawrence doing that last caution, it's very easy to spin those tires as well. Because, I mean, you saw him do 3 restarts before that or so, and it was perfect every time. It really just takes a little bit too much throttle just to get these rear tires spinning here at Richmond.
Yeah, and anyone who's ever watched any kind of short track racing, I say that and all I can think of is Denny Hamlin. But anyone who's ever watched any kind of race on a short track, specifically super late models, or even NASCAR on a short track, you can see just how easy it is to spin the tires on a restart. And granted, that can happen in any track, you know, but these short tracks, when you have, you know, you're very quick on the throttle, you can see it happen quite a bit.
Well, and these are the 750 horsepower packages, so we are carrying a lot more horsepower, 200 more than they typically are in these cars.
Absolutely, and you know, that's one of those things where, like I said, if you've been to any track around the nation, any short track, you'll see that quite a bit. In NASCAR, it's always interesting to see which driver every race, when they're at Bristol or Martinsville or Richmond, who's going to be the one driver that makes that mistake and ends up either missing a shift or spinning the tires coming to the green.
All right, we're getting ready to go green flag racing once again. This will complete lap 76 of the 200. Pace cars coming back down pit lane. Scott, have this one.
All right, so the 33 of Trey Whitehead from that inside is going to bring us to the green. That green flag is out, and that front row getting a terrific start. It almost looked like the 94 of DJ Daniel just could not, and there are cars spinning through the grass right into the wall. Wow, that did not take long.
Oh, here it
24
is.
spun tires.
24 spun tires, big time here. Does a great job not coming up into the 9, but man, the 38 had nowhere to go, and I think from there it was heavy contact with that inside wall for the 24.
Tires.
And I'm not 100% here, but it looks like Robert Lawrence may have actually captured the lead before that caution came out. We'll see if that is the case, but looking at the you know, the timing I'm looking at and looking at the race itself, Robert Lawrence may have actually done what he needed to get back in that position.
Yeah, so he looks like he took it from the outside, actually. He got a great run off of the turn.
Timing.
Yeah, it was. So there you go. Got the lead right back.
Well, Angel, you and I were talking right before that green about how Robert Lawrence could get the lead back, and that was not one of the ways we discussed.
No, not at all. But you know what? I think it's time to bring Robert Lawrence in. He's been running up front all day long here. Hey, Robert, this is Angel and Scott here in the ESBN broadcast booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Man, Robert, what's been an exciting one so far for you up front? You just briefly lost the lead, but you just barely got it out right before that caution. Did you expect that to be that easy, or did you think you were going to need a little bit more planning and a little bit more fighting to get that lead back?
I was expecting a lot more strategizing, setting him up, and getting a good run off a corner to get back around him and then try to set sail, but I guess I just sent it that far further into turn one on the outside, and iRacing picked it up as me catching the lead. So I mean, I'll take it. The bottom side's king, I think, and so yeah.
So, Robert, I mean, what have you seen so far from the front of the race? And you looked like you were getting through lap traffic pretty easily. Everybody was being generally pretty respectful. You got about 120 laps probably before we go, or 20 laps to go before while we go green, and about 20 laps before the stage break. Is of course the goal is to win the stage break, but if an opportunity comes up with a late caution, do you pit, or how do you plan for this?
I think from now to the stage, I'm staying out. I don't think there's a much benefit from going in taking tires.
All right.
Hold on a sec. No, taking bottom. But obviously, I think as soon as obviously at stage, take tires and fuel and kind of see how it goes. We can go about 75, 80 laps on a tank of fuel, so we'll see how it goes.
All right. Well, we appreciate you jumping in with us here for a little bit. We'll go ahead and send you back. Good luck.
Yep, thank you.
All right, everybody, that was Robert Lawrence. Nope, didn't drag you in over. Hold on. There we go. That was Robert Lawrence, your current leader. Getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. Not quite yet. See, we get a little confused. These guys start getting lined up side by side. They know where they got to be before our racing's telling them to. We just think, all right, we're getting ready to go. It's time to go.
Yeah, and you know what, Angel, when I see, situations like that when guys are getting side by side, and getting excited before you get to that one to go, all I can think of for some reason is the choose cone and how I cannot wait for that to eventually one day come to iRacing.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting once it finally does. I can agree with you on that one. It's gonna make for some very challenging starts, I believe.
Yeah, and this is one of those where I'll be honest with you. If I'm the 33 at Trey Whitehead, I might be looking to take that inside if that were the case.
Well, we'll see. We're getting ready to go back. Green flag racing once again. Pace car is down pit lane. Robert Lawrence with a nice big jump here. But my gosh, Trey has a great run there on the outside.
And it looked like the 34 of Robert Lawrence may have just spun the tires just a little bit again. Able to recoup some of that time, though, through 1 and 2. Might be able to hold the lead.
Yeah, he's going to drive down here into turn number 3. He's driving in deep, but I think Trey Whitehead's got enough of a run off of turn 4.
Yeah, and Robert Lawrence is going to beat him to the line. And, like he said when we were talking to him under caution, inside is king here. So as long as he can hold that inside line, I think he's going to be in a good situation.
Yeah, but think about it, that outside lane, you can still carry so much momentum, so you can really hang on for a little bit, but I guess to a point where you got to get back to the bottom. And here is another caution here. Oh, I think it's a big one. Oh, here, let's see. Looks like this was right where the 00 was. So it looks like we have the 28. The 28 car is, my apologies, everybody. Still getting used to everybody here. But you have 36 of Kyle Speeds, the 00 of Vernon Reese. Oh, so it looks like maybe the 00 and the 28, slight contact here, a little bit of net code maybe. 36 finds a way through, but there's not enough room in this contact, and that causes quite the big one right here in the backstretch. Oh, nowhere to go for some of these drivers. Oh my goodness, the 22 goes piling in there.
Man, and this is unfortunate. Just at this point in the race, you're just nearing the end of stage 2, and I guess really there's no ideal time for a caution or to be involved in a wreck like this, but the way I see it as a driver, this is still too early to be caught up in something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if Greg's not in here at the moment. Will be able to tell us what might be the cause of this one here. Wow, that was a big one right there. That took out quite a few drivers.
One thing worth noting is the 34 of Robert Lawrence actually, as you were talking about Trey Whitehead being able to hold that outside lane and carry that speed, Robert Lawrence looked like he actually overdrove turns 3 and 4, which would have given Trey Whitehead the opportunity to pass on the inside coming down the front stretch right before the caution came out. So watching these two fight at the beginning of the field is just a dogfight.
Yeah, it is. And you see, a couple of these guys right behind them, they keep kind of shuffling around. One gets to the inside on one restart, then the inside on the other. So, DJ was on the inside. Now he's back up to the outside. You see Al's back down to the inside after being on the outside. They're going to keep swapping around here as these cautions keep coming out while they're trying to battle each other on that inside. That is the preferred lane. Even though you can kind of somewhat hold pace for a lap or two on that outside. Like you said, Robert said it best. It's king.
All right, no penalty on that one. Sorry for cutting you off, Scott. No penalty on that one. Although the 36 did turn left a little bit, it was a net code into the 00.
Alrighty. And quite the big impact for quite a few drivers there, Greg.
Oh, yeah, it was a mess. It took me a little bit to sort that out.
Well, they're getting Greg's getting his money's worth today out here watching this one and getting all these guys settled in. But man, these guys are eager. They keep lining up double file at the front of the field without it being that one to go.
Yeah, they're under strict orders to not have any gaps in the field. Any gaps, you get sent to the back.
Ooh, alrighty, so laying the law down here in tonight's race.
Yep, new rules from Mr. Hubka himself. If there is any gaps in the field by the back stretch with one to go, the caution will get extended, and that person will get an EOL.
Got it. All right. So, getting out some of this new information for everybody here.
Hence the melee at the drop of the green flag at the beginning of the race.
Well, let's see. Let me pull up my other board here. It'll tell us which caution this is.
11-teen.
This is our 7th caution here. Not quite at the teens yet, but you know what? Not far either. All right, lights are back off on the pace car. I think, Scott, we're just going to keep bouncing off back and forth. I do one, you do one. So here, how about this one?
All right, I'm here for it. So as the pace car dives off, that 34 of Robert Lawrence is going to come to the green, and no tire spin this time. He's going to actually lead the field across the line and take that big dive down into turn 1 with Trey Whitehead on his outside.
Here comes Robert Lawrence clears. You see these cars coming across. We're sitting in the stands with the fans as they drive down here to turn 3. My goodness, that's got to be one of my favorite cameras that we have here. Sitting up here with the fans, seeing them come across.
It is absolutely beautiful. And seeing these cars start to go single file very quickly. Back in the pack, still a little bit of double file action trying to sort itself out. But those top 5-6 cars, they're already single file, and they're looking to start making moves as the 96 of DJ Daniel actually really closing in on the back of the 31 of Brock Whitehead.
Man, we just saw the 62 of Chris Reese. He was very ready to take it 3 wide with John Garrett. Thought better than it. I think the 48, they were Ricky Gonzalez. He backed off a little bit, saying, "Yeah, I don't need to be 3 wide here at Richmond. Not right now."
Yeah, when you're in the middle of that pack, some things you just know you have to do, and some things you just know you don't have to do. And go 3 wide at this point is not something you have to do.
Nope, not at all. Trey Wright had just put down his own personal fastest lap of the day, a 21:82. Man, he's just trying everything he can to try to catch Robert Lawrence. We haven't seen Trey Whitehead exactly have a green flag run to really try to get at Robert. So we'll have to see if he's got anything for him. And you put DJ Daniel here into the top 3. You got 2 of our 2 winners this season in the top 3.
Another caution.
Caution number 8 here. Oh, no, I think this is not a name that we were hoping to see here, Al. We got Al, let's see, going here into turn number 1. Oh, the 14. I think the 14 just slides up I think he just locked it up trying to get in there. Let's see. Let's jump to... Yeah, so as Al was kind of coming down into his turn, the 14 was there and just slid up. Heavy contact for Al, the back bumper of the car. Looks like everybody's going to get through without hitting him.
What a parking lot.
Oh, did Al get... Oh, my goodness. I see the parking lot now. Oh, is that John Garrett involved in this as well? This is one of those things, guys, we were mentioning beforehand. This can easily become a big, big wreck. Oh, just nowhere to go. You see TJ Roberts involved. The 14 does stay. Oh, my goodness. The 45 came flying in. Oh, here comes the 55, too. Heavy damage. Oh, Matthew Gusty just barely gets it stopped in time. I think he avoids any damage. Wow. How insane was that, Scott? Oh, my goodness.
Man, seeing some of these incidences, this is what you talked about at the beginning of the race, where this can race like a super speedway, and you're going to see those big ones, and that's one of them.
All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to see if we jump on board. We have a request to jump on board with the number 29 car. Let me see if I can find which one of my cameras says that one. Oh, look at the plaid shirt, or the plaid long shirt and jeans. All right, let's see here. Matthew Gusty. Hey, Matthew, this is Angel and Scott here in the ESBN broadcast booth. You got us?
What up?
You got quite a bit of fans here on our YouTube page rooting on for you week in and week out with Brandon Hughes. It looks like Richard Iceberg. Got a couple people here, a lot of them rooting for you. How's this race going for you so far? And
Horrible.
Just barely. you made it through that wreck. Did you get any damage in that wreck?
This one, no, I didn't get any damage, not at all.
You stopped just perfectly on time. Great job there. You're still, no, you're not quite on the lead lap right now. So what's the plan here to try to get back on the lead lap?
I'm not sure. Hopefully to catch past somebody, man. I'm always like one position short. It sucks.
Well, I think the couple of those drivers in front of you were involved in that one, getting some damage. So hopefully it gives you the opportunity to get past them.
I hope so, man. I hope so.
All right, Matthew. Well, thank you. Just wanted to bring you in. You got, like I said, quite a few fans as always on our YouTube page rooting you on. So good luck.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
All right, Greg.
This is not the stage end.
Oh, this is not the stage end. So we're gonna have 2 to go on the stage, or
We're going to have a shootout.
we're gonna have a 1 lap. This is gonna be a 1 lap shootout.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be exciting, Scott. What's gonna happen?
I don't know. I think as long as the 34 of Robert Lawrence doesn't spin the tires coming off of it, I think he's going to have enough to hold it off. I mean, he's done it twice now, but every time he has restarted well, he has dominated from that first position.
Don't look too far. You got DJ Daniel right behind him. Is Robert Lawrence's teammate, but we saw DJ pull off last second and steal the win from his teammate at Daytona. So don't expect anything less of DJ. We'll have to see here as they're getting ready to go green. We'll have a 1 lap shootout for the stage break.
And the pace car dives in. The 34 of Robert Lawrence just
Play
getting
green.
lights back on.
The
Oh,
back is not straightened out.
so will this be the stage end?
No. This will not be the stage end, guys. We're still going to have our shootout.
Ooh, all right. The stewards are working in our favor tonight for the fans.
I mean, no fans, no show.
No, of course not. And we get some of the best fans watching, a lot of loyal ones. We love all the comments we get here on our YouTube and Facebook page. Keep it up. We know we're always going to try to get to each one of our drivers. Next green flag run, of course, we'll do one of our fantastic turn it up sessions and a run through the field. But we're getting ready to go green here, Scott.
All right, now the pace car's in. Let's try this one more time. The 34 of Robert Lawrence coming to the green, gets a great restart. Able to pull out from in front of the 33 of Trey Whitehead and takes that outside lane, taking that big dive down into turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, he's going to make sure he's got the run to come off of this turn and not have anybody pull up to him. It's going to be the battle for second. DJ Daniel and Trey Whitehead as they dive down here into turn 3. DJ is going to slide up in front of Trey. Trey's going to use a crossover, but I think DJ is going to clear for second. Trey's loose. DJ is going to hold him off for second.
Man, what a finish to the end of that stage. Obviously, Robert Lawrence able to hold on to win the stage, but DJ Daniel just doing what he had to sneak by the 33 of Trey Whitehead and capture second place.
Oh boy, man, that was fun. All right, so Robert Lawrence, your stage winner. Trey Whitehead would end up finishing in third, actually. DJ Daniel would be in second. Brock Whitehead, Chris Wheeler, Daniel Miglin, Ricky Gonzalez moving up here, Jeffrey Vickery, Kyle Spees moving his way back up front, and Kevin Gibney Jr. He was a wave-around car a couple of cautions ago, and he's all the way up to the top 10.
You do love to see that for a guy like Kevin Gibney. Nice to see Kyle Spees get back up in the top 10 as well after his unfortunate spin earlier. And actually a lot of big movers at this point. Chris Wheeler, Daniel Miglin, Ricky Gonzalez, all drivers that have gained more than 10 spots to get into that top 10 from where they started. So definitely a change in kind of pace from what we've seen through majority of this race.
Yeah, you mentioned Ricky Gonzalez before coming on pit lane here. He had moved up 24 spots from his starting position into the top 10. So big night so far for Ricky. As we see our leaders coming down pit lane, Kyle Speed stayed out. Looks like Chris Reese will as well. Travis Noble in that number 9. He's got that old Budweiser looking paint scheme. Oh, it is a Budweiser paint scheme. And then Alfred Denny's coming. Oh, the 3 of these guys pit on that last caution though, so it looks like they decided to take the advantage of that caution. Al putting himself back up front after being involved in that wreck, and he's not got a back bumper.
No, he does not. But speaking of Al, that is another paint scheme that I really like. That matte black and metallic red Blackwater Suds Ford Mustang. What a beautiful paint scheme with that octopus on the side with the tentacles thrown all over the place. It would look a lot nicer if he had a back bumper, but that's all right.
Yeah, we're missing a back bumper there. I don't think his painter is going to appreciate it. I think that's where he puts his branding for him. But nonetheless, right now, so Kyle Spees, Chris Reese, Travis Noble, Alfred Denny, all of them stay out. Trey Whitehead beats Robert Lawrence off pit lane. Unbelievable. Robert Lawrence has that first pit stall.
Man, and sometimes that's just the way it goes. And it could be something as simple as how quickly you get on pit lane if you follow that pace speed. Maybe spinning the tires, trying to get out of your box. The littlest things can impact pit road at a really tight, cramped track like this.
Yeah, it's going to be real tight trying to get through some of these corners. We've seen that already. You know, we're on lap 105. We're going to be heading to that 95 lap mark here. 95 laps to go. We've had now, I think this is caution number 10, I believe.
That sounds roughly correct.
All right, Gianni Williams. Let's see. Chris Hupka currently running in the 17th position. But he's got a clean race car. I think that's kind of a pretty important thing right now.
I think it'll be interesting to see, now that things have kind of shuffled up and we have some guys up at the front of the field that, you know, maybe are on different pit strategy, how that's going to play a factor as we get into this long game. Alfred Denny, as we recall, one of those drivers, he, you know, qualified in the second position, fell out of the top 5 very early on in the race, still was able to linger in the top 10, and, you know, has spent most of his race racing through the field and now finding himself back in the front of in the front of the pack.
All right, that pace lights are off. We're going to have what looks to be 93 laps to go here. See that 11 car, TJ Roberts, he's looking like a modified running out here. All right, pace cars coming down pit lane. We saw Kyle Spees trying to take the lead for Robert Lawrence earlier. He's going to use some pit strategy. Stays out, on this last caution, the last two cautions, as a matter of fact. And we are back. Green flag racing. Chris Reese does not quite get the jump that Kyle Speed's got. That'll allow Al to go ahead and pull into third. But no, here comes the number 9 of Travis Noble to the inside of Alfred Denny.
Yeah, and Al getting a great run down the backstretch might allow him to sneak back into that third position, but he's going to look high on the 62 of Chris Reese, and this is just allowing that 36 of Kyle Speeds to just take off.
Man, look at this. Al's going to get a big run here off of the turn. Robert Lawrence is back in the picture here in the 4th position, but we've got a caution here. Nicholas Panico in that 55 that you love oh so much. You see John Garrett without a front bumper as well. Oh, just contact with TJ Roberts. We're going to go back here. Don't know if one came up, one came down. All right, it's going to give us the perfect view. Oh, it looks like the 11 just kind of came down there on the 55 and just nowhere to go for the 55. Kind of just two cars going for the same spot look like in that situation. So Kyle Speed's going to hold on to the lead. Chris Reese in second. Alfred Denny in third. And Robert Lawrence already making his way back up here to the 4th position.
Yeah, and now it's going to be interesting to see now the drivers like Robert Lawrence, Brock Whitehead, Trey Whitehead, who are back in the 4, 5, and 6 positions that did pit that last time, being obviously on fresher tires and maybe having a little bit more in the tank than guys like Kyle Spees, Alfred Denny, Chris Reese. Seeing how they can maneuver through this, and how, like I said, I keep saying it, but how that strategy is going to play out with 90 laps to go now.
Yeah, with 90 laps, still a lot of laps to go, but you're seeing the minimal green flag racing we're getting right now. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to fight for every spot you possibly can on each one of these restarts, and hope you can gain some.
Yeah, and that's really something to watch. I mean, if I'm someone like Alfred Denny, who obviously restarted in the midst of this front pack last restart, he was in the 3rd position. You saw Chris Reese did not get going, and you saw Chris Reese almost being overpowered by the cars around him. I wonder if he stayed out simply to try to gain some lap position, hoping to play the strategy game with these cautions a little bit. But it's going to be interesting to see if the 62 is actually in a position where maybe he's down on power or is on older tires, where some of these drivers behind him, like Alfred Denny and Robert Lawrence, can gain those positions, or if it was just a bad restart in general.
Yep, that's going to be interesting to see because, again, it is so easy to have a bad restart here. So we're going to see exactly how can these drivers get going with it. I should have done this a little quicker. Let's bring in... I'll wait until the next caution. We'll bring in one of our 2 birthday boys, DJ Daniel. I don't see Wes out here either. All right, we should be seeing the lights turn off here on the pace car, and oh no, we don't. All right, so let's go ahead and bring DJ in real quick. He's got 2 laps. DJ, it's Angel and Scott here in the ESBN broadcast booth. You got us? All right, we'll try this one more time. DJ, it is Angel and Scott here in the ESBN broadcast booth. You got us? All right, a little bit of technical difficulties. We'll try to bring him back in at another point. Just trying to wish happy birthday to both DJ Daniel and Wes Fuller. It's always a nice way to spend your birthday out here racing. Although I did plan our Friday night league here on SRM around so that I would not have to race on my birthday, but that's just another story.
Hey, you know what though? That's the way it goes.
We'll see what happens is that if it were to land on my birthday, it'd be championship week, and if I didn't make the championship, then it'd just be a bummer to race that day, and if I do make it and I don't win, it's going to be more of a bummer. So you know what, let's just avoid that whole situation. Let's just not let it work that way.
Oh, I get that. My birthday's on a Saturday this year, so not something I have to worry about.
Oh, that's pretty nice. Yeah, well, Friday this year. All right, lights are off here on the pace car. We're going to be competing lap 114, which means we're going to have 184 laps to go. Oh, I'm sorry, 84 laps to go, not 100. Sorry, 84 laps to go here in the Ghost 200 at Richmond Raceway for the Ghost Cup Series presented by Fort Worth Screen Printing. Chris Reese is going to try to put the block on the outside there on Robert Lawrence. Can Alfred Denny make up some time there in that process? Here comes Trey Whitehead as well on the outside.
Yeah, and the 36 of Kyle Speed's just getting another great jump, and you can see these drivers, the 34 of Robert Lawrence, the 2 of Alfred Denny, just all over that back bumper of the 62. I don't know what the situation is with the 62. Like I said, maybe down on power, maybe on old tires, but certainly off the pace compared to these drivers around him.
Putting on a pretty hard fight right now, but Robert Lawrence, he is gone. He's got his eyes set on Kyle Speed's right in front of him. He's got about, I'd say 20 lap fresher tires, considering the caution, maybe, 8 or 10.
Yeah, and this is going to be interesting to see. And I don't blame some of these drivers like Alfred Denny for staying out and trying to get into the front of this field, seeing how repetitive these cautions have been through stage 2. Try to gain that track position and try to sync up your pit cycles with the leaders.
Brock Whitehead was sideways there off that turn. He's going to hang on to it. You saw the 35 and then the 86 and 5 of Chris Hubka. All of them, they were about 3 wide down the front stretch. Then they thought otherwise.
I don't know if you reported it or not, but DJ had a packet loss. So
no, out. That's what happened.
Out 4.
Oh my goodness, and we just happen to be looking at it. Oh, John Garrett's involved in another one. Not much left of this car, and looks like the 48, Ricky Gonzalez, he was doing pretty good. Looks like he got loose off the turn. Nowhere for a couple of these cars to go, and it's just calamity from there. All right, let's go ahead and jump on over to that number 48.
While you're getting that pulled up, Angel, I just noticed the paint scheme on that 48. Beautiful font, by the way, on the number, but it looks very similar to the car that Alex Bowman drove at Nashville. And I was thinking, man, it looks familiar. And then all of a sudden, the camera angle changed, and it says hack across the back bumper. So that is certainly an Alex Bowman car.
Oh, you gotta love it, man. Heavy contact here for Cliff Corvu as well. Just nowhere for him to go. He locks it up. Oh, it looks like contact with TJ Roberts sends him around, and that's what gives him the additional contact there with Cole Martin. So another big pile up here on that front stretch.
Yeah, and I think it's worth noting, by the way, the 36 of Kyle Spees has elected to pit. All the other leaders staying out, but Kyle Spees coming in as we near about 78 laps to go in this race.
Well, that's going to be important. He's fine when you're up front in that clean air, and when you're on older tires, it's easier to stay up front. But once you start getting into some of that dirty air on old tires, it's just going to kill the handling of your race car. And I think he said, you know what? I came out, I got my lap sled, let me go ahead and pull off. As you see the 83 of Joe David coming around for the Lucky Dog, putting 25 cars in the lead lap.
Yeah, and that's going to secure that 34 not rose gold car of Robert Lawrence back out front.
Robert Lawrence, we've got a new nickname for your paint scheme today. It's gonna be
not rose gold.
The not rose gold. I love it. We got to remember that one.
I can't wait till next week when Robert Lawrence shows up with that same paint scheme, but it just says not rose gold across the bumper.
I think it'd be just as funny if it was rose gold next week.
Actually changes it to rose gold. Oh man.
I think you'd have to pay for some sponsorship on his car for that.
I would certainly compensate him for that paint scheme if he goes and does that.
Oh boy, look at this. Interesting enough, we got the number 33 and number 34 here right next to each other. Not two numbers you often see up front.
Yeah, and these two, just Robert Lawrence and Trey Whitehead, they have just been juggernauts this entire race. I mean, Trey Whitehead this whole season, we've talked to him multiple times over the last few races. Robert Lawrence as well having really good runs the last few weeks, but these two have just controlled and dominated almost every aspect of this race tonight.
Yeah, last week wasn't as great for Robert Lawrence, but I mean he's still currently in the 8th position on the. Well, he was 8th in the standings coming into this race, but the guy in front of him, John Garrett, not having quite a good night, especially with Robert Lawrence winning 2 of the stages. Then you have Chris Reese not too far in front of him. He's right there, as well as Alfred Denny. Nathan Eastep was not able to make it to tonight's race, and so we got quite a few of these guys still trying to battle for some points. It's very close still up front. I mean, throughout the entire field, of course, we are only 2 races in.
I just noticed one thing about that 34 of Robert Lawrence as I'm looking at, and actually I'm noticing on the 6 of Chris Wheeler as well. The full contingency sponsors.
Ooh.
Not something you see often on these newer Cup cars.
I miss those full contingency sponsors. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, I agree 100%.
Let's see if we can get a good view of it. Oh, perfect view right here. Oh, I love it to see all those contingency sponsors right there. And it looks very custom, too. That's not the normal contingency ones.
No, it is not. All right. Well, as the pace car dips into pit road, that's going to let Robert Lawrence lead this field to the green flag. The 33 of Trey Whitehead on his outside. Lawrence getting a good jump, going to control that inside lane, but Trey Whitehead not going away, still holding tight on that outside of Robert Lawrence.
I think this might make you happy. Robert Lawrence does indeed drive for Blue Motorsports, and the man who runs that is Noah Owens, who happens to make his paint scheme. So he just posted in the chat that Rose Gold could possibly happen.
Oh, no! Oh, that is amazing. Oh, I'm going to eat my words so hard all season for that.
Oh, man. And he said his other nickname is Robert the Mullet Man Lawrence.
The Mullet Man.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
Trey Whitehead's gone.
Whitehead.
Oh, my goodness.
The 33 of Trey Whitehead just straight into the outside wall coming to the start-finish line.
He got loose, overcorrected. Oh, man. Why does the sign have to be right there? Okay, hold on, everybody. Hold on. All right.
Oh, and most of the field doing a good job avoiding it, but wow.
That could have been a lot worse. The way he shot up into the wall, I thought he was going to take out half the field with him there.
Yeah, that is, I mean, I can tell you right now, the 2 of Alfred Denny, the 62 of Chris Reese, you might want to check on those 2 and see if they need a change of garments, but man, that could have been way worse than it actually was.
Let's go ahead and bring Chris Reese in. Go on and bring him on in. We'll jump on board with him and look at that one.
They're talking about their drawers right now. Al and Chris.
Let's see if I can find Chris. Got him. Chris, this is Angel, Scott, and Race Control Greg up in the broadcast booth. You got us?
Yeah, how we doing, guys?
Good. So, it's funny. I just made a comment about how you and Al may need a change of undergarments, and as I said that, Greg confirmed that is what you two were talking about.
Yeah, that was a little sketchy there for a moment. I'm glad we both made it through there because we were racing each other side by side, real nice and clean and pretty hard. And to see the second place guy lose it like that in front of us was a little bit of a cheeks clenching moment.
Yeah, that certainly could have been a lot worse than it was. So now you find yourself in the 3rd position. These laps are starting to tick down. You're coming to about 68, 69 laps to go, and this race goes back green. What's your thoughts moving forward on the tempo of this race as these cautions begin to pick up?
Right now, currently, I'm just trying to save a little bit of tires, save a little bit of fuel. I'm a little short. I think just about everyone besides maybe Spees, who pit under the last caution, is going to be a little short. But right now, like I said, it's mainly save tires, save a little fuel. We get another caution here in 20 laps or so. I'll probably go ahead and come down then and hope everyone comes with me.
Perfect. Well, Chris, it was great to hear from you. I don't want to keep you too long. I'll get you back to your chat. But thanks for talking with us, and good luck the rest of the race.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Thanks for having me up here.
Always great to hear the perspective of someone who almost soiled themselves due to a caution.
I don't think you could have put it anywhere better than that, Scott. I love it.
That could be a new segment of your guys' show, the Soiled Drawers Award.
We're gonna run out of awards here.
No kidding.
I like that one. The so George. You know what? You know what, Greg? I'm gonna write that one down. I like that one. Somebody write that down for me.
I got it. I'll send it to you right now.
Angel acts like he has an assistant.
I just need help. Oh boy, look at that. These cars. Look at that. Still side by side, knowing that we're not going green yet, but they really, really want to. And for those of you guys watching, if you didn't already see in the chat, and Greg confirming to us, Daniel's mic was not working, so we could not get an opportunity to say happy, or at least give him a chance to be congratulated on air for it being his birthday. But nonetheless, it's okay. We've already mentioned it. It looks like he has not been able to return to the race just yet with his internet issues, so it'll be a bummer for DJ. He's going to have to really make up some of these points over the last 2 weeks after missing last week.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate for DJ Daniel, like you said, not being able to race last week and then just having connection issues tonight. And, for your Daytona race winner, that's just such a disappointing thing to see.
Yeah, it's almost one of those times where, you see like in NASCAR where, someone goes and wins the Daytona 500, then like the next 5 or 6 races, they don't even finish the race. All right. Getting ready to go back green flag racing once again, Scott. It's going to be fun.
Oh, it is. And you see that pace car taking that big dive down to pit road. The 34 of Robert Lawrence, he's been out front most of the night. He's going to bring this field to the green. And a huge jump on the 2 of Alfred Denny. Robert Lawrence, no competition this time. He's going to take his own lane down into 1 and 2. And you see Chris Reese starting to peek inside of Alfred Denny, but he's going to clear. And now it's going to be the 6 and the 62 of Chris Wheeler and Reese, respectively, battling for third.
Gotta love a short track like this. You got a driver like Alfred Denny with no rear bumper, but guess what? He's still running in that second position, exactly where he started. So your front row still sitting here 1 and 2, but the battle right now is for fourth between Chris Reese and Brock Whitehead, and we've got a caution flag here.
These cautions are really beginning to pile up at this point.
Let's try to see exactly what happened here. Oh, contact. Oh, looks like Dan Miglin gets sideways. I don't know if he saves this or not. Nope, this is not the view we're going to want. Here you go. Looks like... Oh, contact with Wally Babb in that number 99. Wow, what great driving there for the 4 car. Holding on to that.
Yeah, that is just terrific driving, being able to make a save like that. And obviously the caution comes out anyway, but again, I feel like every caution we have, Angel, besides the 1 or 2 big ones, it could have been a lot worse than it was, and I think this falls in the same category.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Great job by Wally Babb as well, knowing as soon as he got into him, he stayed off completely, did not give Daniel a little bit more help getting around. I love Daniel's fire suit here, Buzz Lightyear fire suit.
Oh, gotta respect the Buzz Lightyear. See, I've always been impartial myself. I use the, from Star Wars, the TIE Fighter pilot suits.
Oh, yes. All right. Yes, Brandon Hughes, I do have to say, the biggest fan base so far is definitely going to be towards Matty G right now. Matthew Gusty still currently in the race in the 29th position, matching that number. Trying to make his way back onto the lead lap after being involved in one of those incidents. No takers for pit lane here. Nobody looking to come in and top off just yet.
Yeah, and I think at this point, I think a lot of that top 5 is probably going to be a big kind of guessing game along with everyone else in that top 5. I don't think anyone's going to budge out of that top 5 and come in and pit until they need to. But I promise you, if you see one of those guys come down, they're all going to come down.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. So,
A little tidbit for you. It's kind of staggered pit strategies. Robert pitted lap 104, Al 97, Chris 104, the other Chris 96, then a bunch of 104s. So it's a little mixed bag up there in the top 5.
Yeah, definitely. You got quite a few different options here. Trying to decide. Question is whether or not Al can make it. I don't know if you can go that many laps, but at the same time, good chunk of the being under caution, shutting off that engine and coasting a little bit might just help.
Yeah, and that was something that, if you remember, Chris brought up when he was in the booth last time around, was the idea of, it's not really if but when, unless potentially you're someone like Kyle Spies, who already pitted, and if these caution laps continue to pile up, could this potentially land in the lap of someone like Kyle Spies, who decided to pit early and is able to just coast and keep that gas tank full?
Well, you see Kyle Spies last pitted on lap 120. Got Zach Woods from lap 110. Then you go back here. John Garrett's got himself a fresh race car again, no longer driving that modified. Then Ricky Gonzalez, he came down pit road, got his car fixed up, so he could be more than likely ready to make it to the end, as well as Nicholas Panico. So, and any one of these drivers pitting that last time around. So you're right, many different options that could possibly happen here, as they're gonna rack them and stack them again.
Yeah, lights are off on the pace car. This field going through 1 and 2 right now, and I think the big thing for me, Angel, is I just continue to watch these laps just count down. I mean, we're gonna be at 61 to go when we take the green flag, and on a short track like Richmond, 61 laps is not a long time.
No, not at all. It's gonna be they can blow by pretty quickly if we get a green flag running here at one point. All right, Scott, we're going green here.
All right, pace car dives in. That 34 of Robert Lawrence yet again going to bring us to the green, and he gets a good start. It looks like the 6 of Chris Wheeler got a little loose on the acceleration there. Robert Lawrence is going to lead this field into turn 1. Alfred Denny holding second place, not able to come down as Chris Wheeler's challenging on that inside. Al is going to get the run down the backstretch, and caution once again.
Looks like Kyle Gardner and Vernon Reese. 82 takes it 3 wide. Oh, I think this 00 maybe just he got loose going into the turn from the looks of it. He hit the brakes and it just shot up on him. Let me see. Maybe. I mean, of course, the 49 is coming down. Let's jump in from our chopper view. No, yeah, maybe the 00 was just coming up and the 49 was coming down at the right time and just nowhere for the two of them to go. They kind of just drove into each other. I just chalked that one up as one of our racing incidents here.
Yeah, sometimes, especially on a short track like this, you run out of real estate. Or you just have a bad angle and you can't see in your mirrors. And sometimes, like you said, Angel, it's just simply a racing incident.
That's on the 00?
On the 00, alrighty. I guess it wasn't a racing incident.
Thank you for race control. I think it's be interesting to see how these leaders, if anyone comes down, no one's going to bite for these lead cars coming down pit road. Angel, if it's okay with you, I think it's time we tap into the 2 of Alfred Denny and kind of get his thoughts right now.
Yeah, let's go ahead and bring in our second place driver. Go on ahead.
See, let me find him. He's hiding from me.
He's hiding deep.
He is hiding deep. Ooh, Angel, I cannot move him. You mind doing the work for me?
Ooh, sorry about that, yeah. All right, Al, this is Scott. This is Angel, and Greg is sitting here with us as well in the ESBN broadcast booth.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going, Al. I specifically wanted to bring you in for a few different reasons. First off, we haven't talked to you this season. You're running a great race. What's kind of your take on these laps are counting down? You're sitting in second place. You've been fast the whole race. What's your strategy as this race comes to a close?
I'm trying to save just enough fuel so I don't have to make another pit stop here. I think with all these cautions, I should be good. Feel like the longer runs have been favoring me. Looked like I was doing a good job of saving the tires those first 2 pit stops. So I keep trying to do that and hope we don't get spun out again.
Yeah, and obviously your car has seen better days, judging by the fact that you're missing a rear bumper. I don't know if you actually knew that or not.
Yeah, I've been told.
Fair. Is that Are you noticing that in the car, or is that not impacting your ability to drive quite as much?
It hasn't really slowed me down at all, as far as I can tell. We're gonna save the fast repair for the end, of course, just in case. You never know. But yeah, as of now, it's still handling pretty good. Feels like I can drive it in deep and do all the stuff I need to do.
Absolutely. Well, I will get you back over to your chat as the pace car lights should go off here to the 1 to go. Good luck the rest of the way, and I will have a change of underwear waiting for you on pit road after that caution a couple laps ago.
Definitely, I'm gonna need it.
All right. Have a good race. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, you do see these lights off on the pace car. I think we're going here through 1 and 2. This will be completing lap 145. They're coming down the backstretch here. That will leave us with 55 laps to go when we come back for the green. We still have 27 drivers here on the lead lap. As a matter of fact, you saw the number 29, Matthew Gusty, getting one of his laps back on this last time around. Let's get ready to go green.
Pace car dives in. I feel like a broken record. Here we go. Robert Lawrence yet again on the inside, bringing us to the green. He's going to get a good jump. So is Alfred Denny. And oh, man, the 34 of Robert Lawrence. I don't know if he missed a shift. Checked up at the 6 of Chris Wheeler, getting into the back of him. And those front four are going to bunch up going down the backstretch.
Yep. Ow, oh, my goodness. Here comes Brock Whitehead with a big run. Chris Reese thought about taking it 3 wide. Thought otherwise. Now it's a battle for second between Al and Brock here. Robert Lawrence is loving to see that behind him, so he can pull away ever so slightly.
Yeah, and Brock Whitehead getting good runs out of the corners, but Al not giving him an inch, really sticking, committed to that inside, and it looks like Brock is going to clear him this time. Al trying to squeeze in between the 6, and he's not going to be able to. The 6 of Chris Wheeler is going to get on his outside.
Yeah, it seems like most drivers like to have this inside, but, you know, as this run goes on and as the night goes on where more rubbers lay down, that outside can really carry some good momentum at a track where, you know, you really are just struggling to keep that momentum off of these turns. Oh, Chris Reese and Al are both loose off of 2.
Yeah, and this is going to be what Al brought up, trying to save those tires, and now, I mean, let's be honest, these... Oh, do we have a car spinning down the front stretch?
Saved it.
Able to save it. Wow, it just cut off on my view a little bit. But like you had mentioned, Angel, this is one of those where nobody is loving this more than Robert Lawrence right now.
Yeah, any chance to be able to pull away is really just going to work out for him well. So he's hoping to try to keep this lead over Brock Whitehead. Right now it's up to about 1.3 seconds. So the biggest lead of the night really we've seen all day from Robert Lawrence. As we're coming down 51 laps to go, about to hit that 50 lap mark, as Al is continuing to just fall to some of these cars with fresher tires.
Yeah, and Al's got the 36 of Kyle Spees right behind him, battling with the 38 of Dylan McDonald. And this is where you're going to see the strategy. We have cars spinning in turn 1. 2 cars, 1 down on the apron, picking back up, and a lap car that's going to meet the 34 of Robert Lawrence going down the backstretch.
All right. Oh, something happened to 00. Blinking in, and I don't know what happened here. I don't know what. It did not register at all. A ton of contact, and I think that was the 39 of Ron Gardner with him. Nonetheless, we're still green.
Yeah, and it looks like everyone, most of those leaders able to get through it. You do have 1 lap car kind of trickling down through the pack right now. But that 34 of Robert Lawrence able to clear, as well as the 31 of Brock Whitehead, the 6 of Chris Wheeler. Everyone's going to keep going. Like you said, Angel, we're staying green.
Yeah, right now the battle for the position is the 4th position between Dylan McDonald and Daniel Miglin. Dylan's going to drive in deep here at that number 38. He's going to clear Miglin here, hoping to hang on for a top 5 right now. Dylan is your biggest mover of the race, up 27 spots from his start position, back in 31st now over here to the 4th position.
Yeah, and if I recall, I could be mistaken on this, but I don't think the 38 of Dylan McDonald actually qualified. So biggest mover to no fault of his own, assuming that is in fact the case. But still impressive to see someone make that much of a charge through the field.
Yeah, it's tough, you know, trying to manage through all the traffic. We've seen him in some close incidents so far. I don't see really much damage on that car. Not sure if he's used the fast repair already or if he's just had enough luck to stay away from it. But right now, we'll have to see what does anybody have possibly for Robert Lawrence. He's now pulled to a 2.5 second lead over second place Brock Whitehead.
Yeah, and that lead is just continuing to grow even faster. And, being able to move has been something that's kind of been the highlight of this race, Angel. We've got 3 drivers in the top 5 right now that have gained at least 15 spots from where they started. So it just goes to show that this race is not all just about speed.
Yeah, very true. And then one of our birthday boys, Wes Fuller, started back in the 30th position. He's up 17 spots to 13th right now, holding on for a pretty decent race.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see, looking at this field, as you mentioned, Robert Lawrence continuing to stretch his lead out, now teetering kind of between 2 3/4 of a second and 3 seconds, continuing to just grow with that clean air in front of him.
Yeah, right now, I think while we have some green flag racing, let's go ahead and give these fans a turn it up session here. And as a reminder, as always, if you are listening with headphones, it will get loud, so just be prepared. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here for the Ghost Cup Series, the Ghost 200 at Richmond Raceway, and we had a caution just now during one of our turn it up sessions there. Looks like it may have been the 21 of Jeffrey Vickery here.
55 EOL.
Oh, the 55. Looks like he got into the wall. Poor Jeffrey Vickery. He's going to just happen to be the sucker in that one. Had nowhere to go and just gets taken out right in front of our leader there too, but he's able to get going before he gets put a lap down.
Before we jump too far off, Angel, coming off the Turn It Up, I just want to point 2 things out. Turn It Up, one of my favorite segments as a child, but the other one, the Gopher Cam, I need that back.
Oh my goodness, I would love to have that back. I would absolutely love having that. Maybe we should get one set up here. We'll talk with Frank and Cliff about getting one set up here for us.
So speaking of, you're going to see the top 15 cars all come down pit road right now, including your leader, Robert Lawrence. This very well could be that final pit stop of this race, depending on how strategy shakes out.
I mean, there's no reason you come back down pit lane after this unless you're involved in a crash, I'll be honest with you. Nice,
right,
so it does, depending on if Charles Whitehead comes in or not, because, oh, there goes the green cone again.
Oh, Kyle again. But Robert Lawrence winning the race off pit road, but Charles Whitehead electing to stay out at the moment.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Is this the decision he decides to stick with?
So, last caution, I just wanted to share, actually, both Angel and Greg, since you're both in here. I thought this was funny. I got a text from Kevin Gibney, mid-caution. Last caution, he was running in the P11 spot, and he texted me and said, P11, who would have thought?
Oh, well, right now P12, up 12 spots, and he was at least a couple of laps down. He's made his way back up to the front here, so nice success so far for Kevin Gibney, making his way up the track. Not our biggest mover. Quite a few drivers, as mentioned before. Well, currently, Charles Whitehead, if he stays out in the number 28, will be your biggest mover, up 31 spots from his starting position. Actually,
I just think it's funny. I'm just waiting for Gibney to gib himself.
I was going to say the same thing.
Well, now you guys jinxed it. Now that's what you call the broadcaster's curse.
I mean, he can pull a Greg and step on it.
Hey, you did it last week, Angel. It's my turn.
There you go. Well, Charles Whitehead looks like he's going to stay out here. He actually did pit back on lap 142, so he won't have as fresh tires as everybody else, but this does put him up front with everybody else.
But he is the only one with old tires, so he's going to be a roadblock.
Yeah, and it's going to be very interesting to see how the 34 of Robert Lawrence responds to this restart. Obviously not controlling the field, but should have no issues clearing the 28. It's going to be interesting to see how those cars behind him, Kyle Spees, Brock Whitehead, and Chris Wheeler, respond to having that car on older tires coming to the green flag. Hopefully there's no issues with spinning the tires that could potentially change the entire dynamic of this.
All right, so here's some of these cars. Oh, the 20 actually does not have a front bumper. I know he has some damage behind him, but he is driving a modified out there now.
Well, as these drivers bunch up side by side, they're going to take the green with 31 laps to go. And Angel, I got to ask you, are you going pedal to the floor at this point, or are you waiting to see how the cautions continue to play out?
You know, I think the cautions are gonna continue to play out, and I think you just, keep your car clean. Doesn't have to be pedal to the metal, but, you do want to keep your nose clean to make it to the end of this one. Nonetheless, we're green flag racing once again. The 28 gets going, but there's only so much power. He's going to pull down to the bottom and let these guys go around him. Can these guys get around him, though, here into turn one?
Yeah, and they're going 3 wide around him. It looks like everyone has already cleared him. You're going to see a little bit of checkup deeper back in the pack. But the leaders, Robert Lawrence, Brock Whitehead, Kyle Spees, no problem clearing them. And they're 3 wide in turn 4, still trying to get around these slower cars.
There goes Trey Whitehead right behind him. He's made his way back up into the top 10 after being involved in that wreck a few cautions ago. Oh, the 28 pulls in front of the 63, Kevin Gibney. You know what has happened there? The 28 just got gibbed.
Oh, man, I feel so bad that I may have jinxed that, and here's the caution.
And here's the caution. Now, I would not say it was necessarily... Oh, no, the 28 just got loose going into the corner and just got up the racetrack. Well, no, maybe that was after contact. Yes, that was. Yeah, I think the 63 didn't realize how early the 28 was checking up. All right, let's go ahead and bring back up here and see what brought out that caution. Looks like... Oh, we had one car, actually the 28 himself, get into the wall off of turn 2. And it was a bit of a sandwich effect getting into another driver. That view's not going to help us. Sorry about that, everybody. Here we go. Oh, it looks like Zach Woods got into him, just trying to avoid getting into the back of that number 28. Man, it's just wrong time, wrong place for him. All right, as I said, keep that nose clean. You can keep making it through, Just make sure, maybe try to put yourself in a good spot should a caution come out, whether you want to be on the inside or the outside.
Yeah, and at this point, that's really what's going to be crucial to these guys at the front of the field is that inside and outside. And if you're on the outside, being able to get single file, coming into turn 1 and 2 before you risk going 2 wide, 3 wide, and getting run over by those guys on the inside lane.
I think right now it's time to bring in maybe Kyle Spees. Scott, go ahead and check out if you can bring him in this time. I think
I should be able to. I was able to send Al back.
Oh,
so
that
I
is
should
right.
be.
Yes.
Let me find Mr. Spees here.
Alright, so I nailed both the 60 and the 28 on that one.
Got it.
I do not see. Oh, there he is. He's hiding from me.
He says nailed, by the way. That just means that both of those drivers will be receiving EOLs for causing this caution.
All right, Kyle, it's Angel and Scott up in the booth along with race control Greg. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Kyle, man, you have been up front, in the back, and back up front. You are incredibly fast tonight. First off, congrats so far on the race you've run. Great way to come back. What's your thoughts as you look to these final 25 laps?
Same strategy as I have been the whole race. Just trying to stay safe here. I got collected, like you said earlier. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. Gonna try to stay out front for this race here. Being in the back was very scary in my opinion, and I had a few scares, but I'm glad to be back up front. So I appreciate you saying that, and hopefully I can stay up here for the rest of the race.
Yeah, I got to ask you, Angel and I were just talking. With 25 laps to go, what is your strategy at this point? Is it pedal to the floor or just see how the cautions play out?
Kind of half and half in my opinion right now. Start out here, I just want to ease into it. Still got quite a bit of race here, so anything can happen. Probably with 10 to go, it'd be pedal to the metal for me. See where we can end up tonight.
Absolutely. Well, Kyle, I will get you back to your team. Don't want to keep you too long. Thanks for chatting with us, and good luck the rest of the race.
Appreciate it, guys.
Well, at the very least, the amount of cautions we've had today has given us an opportunity to really catch up with most of the field.
Yeah, it has been nice to be able to talk to a few extra drivers. Not really a luxury we had last week when we were at Atlanta. The cautions didn't really play in our favor, and when they did, we never got a chance to talk to the guys we wanted to talk to.
No, you are right there. Right now, ready to go back green flag racing. You see the lights are off on the pace car. We're going to come back around with 24 laps to go, and pulling these off at 21 seconds a lap. I mean, this could be done very quickly.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel at this moment, see how these cautions play out, but that pace car taking the big dive down pit road, the 34 of Robert Lawrence, once again bringing us to the green. This time he's got the 31 of Brock Whitehead on his outside, and both the front row get a great jump. The 36 of Kyle Spees a little slow on the go, but going to hold that momentum going down into 1 and 2.
Yep, it looks like Brock Whitehead's going to be able to clear that number 36 for second position. I don't know how these guys aren't hitting the wall in the back. You see John Garrett all the way to the bottom trying to get out of the way of somebody. Not sure what happened. John Garrett, though, has made his way back up here into the top 10 as well. Look at this. We are 3 wide down the front stretch.
That is not something...
No, I was going to say, it's Daniel Miglin, Trey Whitehead, and Alfred Denny right there. Oh, no, Trey Whitehead sideways off of turn 2. Oh, heavy contact for Chris Reese and another driver there. Wow.
That can change a lot, having a lot of those lead lap cars involved in that. And that is not the first time Trey Whitehead has gone for a ride tonight. The damage doesn't look too severe. I think it's going to really be a determinant on if he has any engine damage or not.
I think this guy here, Kevin Gibney, probably has some engine damage here. You see the 62 get loose off of the corner as well, I believe. When he overcorrects, it comes up, and oh my goodness, look at how high up in the air Kevin Gibney got almost.
Man, that broadcaster's jinx is pretty in this league.
Look at Gibney's onboard view as he's up in the air here.
Mr. Whitehead to the rear.
Man, now you have to wonder how much damage did Kevin Gibney take in that. Currently in the 13th position. The car cosmetically doesn't really look all that bad.
Yeah, I'm riding on board myself with Gibney right now, and it sounds like the RPMs are struggling a little bit, but we'll see exactly how much damage, like you said, was done.
All right, we have 21 laps to go here. We should go green with, I imagine, about 18 laps to go. We do still have about, I do believe, 27, maybe 28 drivers on the lead lap. So you really got to make sure you hit your marks in the final 15 laps or so, because one incident for you late could really cost you a ton of points with all these cars still out there.
Yeah, the other thing is, as a short track like this, you don't have the luxury to spend time on pit road if you need to. So getting in these cautions where you have large amounts of damage do not play into your favor this late into this run.
No, not at all. Not one bit. Although if you're somebody back there, maybe you have a fresh set of tires still. Maybe come down pit lane, get a fresh set. You know, you never know what you can do in the final 10 laps or so.
Those tires can definitely become a difference maker too if we start seeing the race get extended for any reason. A lot of cautions in these final laps, or even if you just get 18 laps to lay down and you got fresh tires, it's amazing how quickly you can move through this field.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're absolutely right. And you think any opportunity, anything you can use in your favor is something you're going to want to do here, whether you're in your preferred lane or maybe, you know, you do have a fresh set of tires. I got to give a, you know, tip of the hat here. You know, you got John Gare. We saw him without a front bumper. He was driving a modified earlier. We saw Travis Noble get some pretty heavy contact. See, Chris Reese is trying to recover. Jonathan Leach holding on here. Haven't had to talk much about him. And Patrick Mcquaid's in a modified as well in that number 77, and he's still out here in the 12th position.
I think, Angel, it just goes back to what Alfred Denny said earlier when we had him in the booth on that damage really doesn't do a lot to you at a track like this. And Angel, you alluded to that earlier in the pre-race. The damage may not be as significant here, and then Al confirmed that driving without a back end and not really feeling like it was affecting him. So seeing these modifieds out here like that, these guys may still be able to keep pace and pull off potential top 10 finishes.
Yeah, you know, and maybe help keep that right front tire cool. That's something you could really burn up here as well. So maybe not the worst thing either. All right, getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. It'll be 17 laps to go when we go green once again here. We're going to have to see, can Robert Lawrence, he's really put on a domination all day today, or does somebody have something still hiding up their sleeves to try to win this one? We'll have to see 17 laps from now. Robert Lawrence gets going. We are green flag racing once again. Lawrence with a nice jump should easily put him into the lead, as it's going to be a battle for second between Brock Whitehead and Kyle Spees.
Yeah, and there's that 36 of Kyle Spees back up there again, pushing Brock Whitehead from the inside, trying to get around him. Whitehead's going to get the advantage going into 3 and 4, but Spees is not going to go away that easy. And, of course, the man who loves to see this, Robert Lawrence.
Yeah, it just gives Robert Lawrence more of an opportunity to pass him. You see Kyle Spees drive it in deep. He's going to slide up here in front of Brock Whitehead. I'm sorry, Brock Whitehead. Oh, no! Brock Whitehead gets into the wall. Oh, Alfred Denny goes flying to the inside wall. Heavy contact for Alfred. Oh, this is going to be a parking lot here as well.
Oh, man. 15 laps to go. Robert Lawrence just took. As these laps wind down, these drivers are pushing themselves to the limit, and it is showing in some of these wrecks.
All right, so we're on board here with Alfred Denny. You see these drivers in front of him make contact. Oh, he just gets turned and just nowhere to go. Hits quite a few drivers, man. Nowhere for none of these drivers to go. At least from here, everybody gets around. You see Al just hold his brakes and stay in one spot there. But, oh, you see the RPM struggling right there. He's got to be very big, heavy damage here. Hopefully he still has a fast repair. I think he mentioned he did.
Yeah, I think he mentioned to save it till the end. And,
oh, yeah, it's
that's one of those strategies. Is Alfred not going to be able to make it?
Pulls into his stall. Yep, he's good. Fast repair.
Oh,
he's good to go.
You know what? That might save Alfred Denny's race then, being able to do that.
Oh, I agree. So here you see Jonathan Leach coming down pit lane as well in what is supposed to be a paint scheme for another car, but instead was accidentally put on here. So that was that issue we were talking about earlier. So I'm sure the paint scheme will look great on whatever car it belongs on. So he's going to use his fast repair from the looks of it. Get some fresh tires in this thing. They're going to be Jonathan Leach and Alfred Denny in the 27th and 28th positions from the looks of it. It looks like actually Al will be considered a lap down here.
Yeah, I just don't think Al was able to get off pit road just fast enough. But considering he has a brand new car and, you know, is going to be at the back of the pack, he may be in position to get the lucky dog if we see another yellow flag come out.
Yeah, and, you know, there's no reason not to assume that we might not have another yellow flag, so.
49 to the rear.
Is it 49?
Yep.
All right.
Driver ran a little too hot and took out 28.
Got it.
Said that 3 times before I realized I muted my mic.
It's, you know, at least it's okay when you do it. When I do it on the broadcast, it just makes me look really dumb. And
It's 11.
I do it a couple
Past my
times.
bedtime.
It's past my bedtime too. Everybody knows I'm an old man. I'm ready to go to bed.
Angel, I can sympathize with the old man thing. I was ready to go to bed before this race even started. And I'm an hour behind you.
You know, oh yeah, I mean, lucky for you. And it sucks here because, you know, it's raining right now. It's nice and cool weather over here, so it's like
Florida. When's it not raining?
I mean, we're the Sunshine State too here, so, you know.
Y'all talking about being old. Have y'all even hit 30 yet?
I haven't hit 25 yet.
Wow.
I'll be 25 next month.
Wow.
Ah, damn, Scott, you're just a couple months older than me.
Yeah?
Oh my God. I'm 33. About to be 34.
Greg is hurting right now.
Yeah,
listening to
we're
this.
just laughing and yeah, we're just causing Greg more pain as you see the pace lights go off. Oh boy.
I mean, I don't
I'm
mind
John
I don't
Garrett
mind-
old.
You know, Angel, I don't care much for your 50, 60 degrees in rain. It's a very comfortable, cozy 8 degrees here right now. So,
What are temperatures looking like for you there, Greg?
19.
As if it makes me feel any better, it'll be in the 20s here where I live in Florida Sunday morning.
I mean, I live in the bipolar state, so we have all seasons in within a week.
yeah, same.
Well, yeah, Florida, you can have, you know, it'll be 30 degrees at, you know, in the morning, and by 2 p.m. it's already up to like 60 something.
Yeah, and that pace car pulls in. Robert Lawrence leading him to the green, not getting a great run. This time, the 36 of Kyle Speed's going to beat him into turn 1, and that is huge as there's only 10 laps to go in this race. Kyle Speeds takes over that lead.
Wow, Kyle Speeds with an absolute power move to get past Robert Lawrence on the outside. So the man who's dominated this race, he's now... Oh, contact!
Multiple cars spinning down the front stretch.
Oh, we've got a massive wreck. Oh, cars collecting into each other again in the back stretch there, in the front stretch there.
What a game changer. Most of your top 10 involved in that. But we also have a new leader, and these laps are going to continue to tick down.
Oh, Zach Woods heavy contact. TJ Roberts heavy contact. Nicholas Panico heavy contact as well. Wow, we're going to go ahead and see exactly what happened here.
I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to call this one.
Well, it looks like some of these guys are running up front here. Chris Wheeler and Brock Whitehead. I know it was contact initially with them as they were coming off of turn 4. Now it looks like both of them just came into the same spot and just know where to go for the guys behind them and collected everybody. John Garrett and Chris Reese just barely make it through there. You see all these drivers sliding through. Travis Noble drifting it through the dirt there to avoid getting into that one. All right,
Second to 31 just didn't open his arms soon enough like everybody else thought he was going to. He didn't go to the wall as soon as everybody else does off of 4.
Yeah, Matthew Gusty, you're right. Brandon was 2 laps down at one point. He's been able to make his way back up here into the 17th position. So, I saw it's one of those situations where you just never give up. I mean, earlier Cliff, he was in 35th, multiple laps down with not much of an opportunity to get back up there. And he just kept out there, kept racing, kept doing his own thing, and he's up to 30th. I mean, 5 positions is going to mean a whole lot come the beginning of the playoffs. Every point's going to matter for these guys, and it'll be moments like today that can really make a difference.
Speaking of never giving up, The 2 of Alfred Denny just got the lucky dog.
There you go.
And on top of that, we have Dylan McDonald sitting up in the 5th place position, who is up 26 positions from his starting spot.
That's a pretty big difference over over our next person, who's up 19 spots. So big day so far for Dylan McDonald, looking like he might be taking home the ESBN biggest mover of the race.
Yeah, but let's not count out some of these other drivers who, are back in the lead lap. You've still got Trey Whitehead. You've got Alfred Denny. They're depending on what happens, how these cautions play out, or if it stays green, some people could end up in a good position to maybe challenge for a nice top 5.
Well, I mean, look at John Garrett right now. I mean, he was driving a modified earlier. I think he was off the lead lap at one point, and as he always does, we broadcasted a couple of the leagues that John's run here, and just slow and methodical. Doesn't need to be out there winning the race the entire time. It's just slow and methodical. But good breaks here for Chris Reese and Kevin Gibney with damaged race cars. Those cars wrecked in front of them. They got around them, gaining a couple more spots back here into the top 10. We saw Christian Roos earlier getting into the wall. Mike Corvo, we saw him with heavy damage in the first point of this race. He was a lap down as well, and he's made it his way into the top 10. Wally Babb, so quite a few guys. And look at Chris Hupka. He's finally having himself a decent race without some bad luck.
Yeah, and let's not forget maybe the most important person in the field right now about turning bad luck around, Kyle Spies. He's going to be your leader coming to 4 to go this time, and he spent some time at the back of the pack, getting caught up in early contact.
Yep, so I will be interested to see what can he hold him off? And man, look at this. Of the top 5 cars, 4 of them are numbers in the 30s. Don't know why. They just felt like that was significant to say.
You don't see it often.
How many green white checkers do you think we're gonna have?
How many do we have available to use?
3.
All 3.
All right. I know Kyle Speeds hopes we don't. Green flag racing once again. We've got 4 laps to go here in the Ghost 200 at Richmond. What a start for Robert Lawrence. But Kyle Speeds, he's going to drive it in deep. No, Lawrence drives it in very deep into turn 1. He slides up the racetrack. Can he hold on? Speeds is going to pull the crossover and pull up in front of him. Oh, the push down the backstretch by Robert Lawrence. Oh, he's going to get into Kyle Speeds. They're wrecking. Oh, my goodness. The leaders have wrecked going into turn 3, and they're wrecking more after.
Bigger pile up as people collect that inside retaining wall going down to pit road.
What incident has Zach Woods not seen himself today, but wow. What did we just see from the leaders?
Your first place and second place both caught up in that wreck. That is going to change this entire race, and just like that, the 31 of Brock Whitehead has inherited the lead.
Oh my goodness. You know what I want to do right now is I'm going to jump on board. Or actually, we're going to jump to the nose view here of Robert Lawrence. So he's going to drive it in deep, go high, kind of diamond this corner, use a big run off of the turn, gets up behind the 36, gives him a hard shove down the backstretch, dives into turn 3, and gets into him, and nowhere to go for either one of those 2 drivers. Heavy contact.
And we are getting official confirmation. We are under our first green-white checkered.
And there is only 2.
It is only 2.
Alrighty. Wow. And look at this. John Garrett up to the 2nd position. Now put his name into the... Daniel Miglin, we saw him in some contact earlier. Look at Kevin Gibney making his way into the top 5. We've seen him win at Richmond before. Can he do it again in a different car? It'd be interesting to see. A couple of nice stories here up front right now in the top 10.
Angel, I feel like you just had to say that to rub it in Greg's face a little bit.
No, not at all.
What in my face? What are you speaking of?
He made the play. He still made the championship and won the championship, so I think Greg doesn't care.
No.
Listen, everybody knows me was probably shocked that I got slow, you could say, on the last lap, and somehow Kevin got around me.
We thought maybe you just switched, profiles maybe.
Hey, if that's the story, we're sticking to it.
Something happened. I think I had a right rear going flat. I just wanted to save it.
There you go.
So,
Justin Wilder. There's a chance he was watching. I had to throw that joke out for you, buddy. All right. Well, right now we're gonna have 2 laps to go. Let's go down through your top 10. Brock Whitehead currently your leader. John Garrett in 2nd. Daniel Miglin in third, Dylan McDonald in fourth, and Kevin Gibney in fifth. 4 of your top 5 are up 15 or more spots. What about Kevin Gibney?
Fifth.
He's
Holy
up
crap.
in fifth. Chris Reese will be in the sixth position. Christian Roos in seventh. Mike Corvo is going to be in 8th, Wally Babb in 9th, and Jeffrey Vickery, we saw him involved in a couple incidents today, made his way up to 10th, and birthday boy Wes Fuller looking to put himself into the top 10 here for his birthday.
You know, I was just thinking about Greg's tire going down and trying to conserve it, you know, in that race that we were talking about. I wonder if Ty Norris probably could have used that excuse.
Oh, boy.
Man, we're just digging deep into the bag of tricks tonight, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Well, changing a pretty big aspect. I mean, oof. Oh, man.
Speaking of, while we wait for this caution to pan out, have you guys ever actually listened to the in-car audio from the Michael Waltrip scandal?
No.
I have. It's been a long time, though.
Yeah, they played it on the episode when Ty Norris was on with Dale Jr. and he's like, "We need you to pit right here," and Brian Vickers is like, "What? I have to pit?" And he's like, "Yeah, pit here." And Vickers is like, "I don't understand." So finally, Ty Norris just says it, and he goes, "They need a point." And like he said, like the minute he said it, he knew it was over.
Oh, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like when Boyer self-spun himself.
Yeah.
Brock Whitehead has taken the outside.
This is interesting. John Garrett on the inside. Pace car comes down. The 31 of Brock Whitehead gonna bring us to the green, but John Garrett with a huge jump.
Oh
Wow.
my goodness, is John Garrett gonna steal this away now? He's gonna clear for the lead. John Garrett's now your leader, coming off of turn 2. Do they hang it on for? No, they're wrecking behind him. I don't know if it's a big one.
And Brock Whitehead sticking with him, just holding him as they're going to come to the white flag. The next flag is going to end this race. John Garrett's still your leader.
I cannot believe this is
Wrecking hard.
They're wrecking hard. Daniel Miglin, he's going to drive in deep. He's going to make contact with Dylan McDonald. It's Chris Reese and Kevin Gibney battling for 4th and 5th.
And Brock Whitehead is going to have one more shot at this.
He's not going to get it. Off of turn 4, John Garrett out of nowhere is going to win at Richmond. Wow!
And you see just carnage everywhere else on the track as those leaders get just enough help to be able to come to that checkered flag without that caution coming out and ending that race.
Wow, and John Garrett put his fastest lap of the day down on that final lap when it mattered most.
Good old John.
So your podium is going to end up John Garrett obviously taking home that checkered flag, Brock Whitehead coming home second, Dylan McDonald rounding out that podium. Burn it down, sir. You deserve it.
This should keep Deep Racing at the top of the team charts.
And
It very well might. Kevin Gibney keeping a solid 7th place spot as well. Alfred Denny recovering a little bit back in 24th from his unfortunate accident.
Brandon, on our YouTube chat, neither one of them are in the Discord right now, so we're not able to bring them in for an interview. So we're going to go ahead, and we are going to interview our 3rd place finisher, Dylan McDonald, who is indeed our biggest mover of the race. So let's go ahead and bring him on in.
See if I can make this work here. I am not seeing Dylan McDonald in Discord. Angel, you mind taking a look yourself?
Let's go ahead and bring it up. Let's see.
Oh, he's in the waiting room already. My mistake. All right, Dylan, Scott, and Angel up in the ESBN broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right. Well, first off, congratulations on the 3rd place finish. Take us through those last few laps, especially that green-white checkered.
Oh, Hart was racing and not wanting to mess up and get loose or get into the 4.
Yeah, you guys had some close competition going up there. The one big shining spot to your race, though, is you are actually the biggest mover of the race, gaining 28 spots from your starting position. What was it like having to worry about driving through the field and avoiding some of that turmoil that you saw throughout the race to get to this position?
Oh, it was It was frightening. I just took my time and let the race play out the way it needed to, and not rush my way up to the front. Because I find myself rushing myself and getting taken out. So I took a different approach this week and just let the race come to me, and not me race the car the way that I normally do. So take my time, and it ended up paying off. So can't be more than happy than that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you bring that up, driving with a different style than how you normally do. Is this maybe turning a page for you moving forward, a different strategy you might deploy at different tracks?
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially with a bunch of harder tracks coming up on the schedule, you definitely gotta have that mindset of you can't win the race on the first lap. So that's what I'm gonna do from here on out, and see if I can get more top threes or even maybe a win.
Yeah, definitely. Well, a great run tonight, Angel. Anything you have for our third place, Dylan McDonald?
No, Dylan, aside, before we let you go, of course, just go ahead and thank who you got to thank for watching tonight's race.
Gotta thank TJR, Upstate Body Shop and Towing, and Titletown Racing as well, along with Travis's Auto Service here in Fort Wayne. Also, thanks to you guys for broadcasting, my family watching, sponsors watching, and everything. And thank God we brought it cleanly back to P3.
All right. Congratulations, Dylan, once again on the top 3 finish. Go on to celebrate.
All right, thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was your third place finisher there, Dylan McDonald. It's now time to bring on in your second place finisher, Brock Whitehead. There we go. All right, Brock, this is Angel and Scott in the ESBN broadcast booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Man, Brock, what a wild finish to the end of this one, man. You were almost gifted this win, and then it looks like John Garrett was able to steal it right at the end. What more could you have done, or was there something you felt that there's just no way to do it there?
Yeah, the car being tore up probably filtered that, and he had a clean car, it looked like, and that's probably what I needed to win, but I took the outside there because I thought that it'd be better for the 38 to be behind me. But yeah, it looked like he jumped a little, but we looked at it and looks like he went clean. So yeah, good job to him, and hopefully we move on to next week and win.
All right, Brock. Overall for the race itself, I mean, you qualified 8th today, and you would finish in second. Pretty solid day, especially points wise. What moving forward? You mentioned about some of these more difficult tracks as well, possibly. Next week's Dover. How do you approach a track like Dover now?
Oh, I've raced Dover many times. It's actually kind of one of my good tracks. Richmond is not one of my good tracks, so I'm surprised I finished pretty good here. But yeah, I'll probably practice for a week until we race. So.
Man, well, it sounds pretty good, Brock. If you're gonna come home second at a track, you don't think you're very good at. I think a win should be in the card for you next week at Dover. Do you have anybody you'd like to thank here before we let you go enjoy the second place finish?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Ryan Sizemore for bringing me on his team. I'd like to thank Noah for painting my car and y'all for broadcasting.
All right, Brock, we appreciate it. You have yourself a good evening. Congratulations again on the second place finish.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was your second place, your runner-up finisher, Brock Whitehead, having himself another good day. But I think the man with the best day today is that number 66 Chevrolet of John Garrett.
Go ahead and bring him in. All right, John, Angel and Scott up in the ESBN booth. Got a copy?
10-4. Here I am.
All right. Well, I think this goes without saying, but congratulations. What a run at the end of the race. Take us through kind of what was going on in your mind and in your car as you came to that green, white, checkered.
Yeah, I mean, to get to that point, I was just trying to survive. The restart before, I was 7th, I think, and I was going to be happy with anywhere in the top 5 or 7 the way this race went. But, yeah, I just got a good start. I know he probably thinks I jumped him, but I'm pretty sure I went on the green flag. So I don't know if the rule is go on the green flag or wait for the leader to go, but I went on the green flag.
Yeah, Brock actually did discuss that. He did say that he admitted he thought you jumped, but they went back and watched it, and they said it looked clean. So nothing to worry about on that end. This is a good run. You end up winning at Richmond. What does this mean for you as a driver and your team moving forward in the season?
Oh yeah, it's a great win. Coming into a new league, I don't know a lot of these guys, but they're all pretty competitive. It's good team points, and yeah, it's just nice to get a win. I hadn't had a win in a while, and you kind of start to doubt yourself. But yeah, I know I didn't lead the most laps or anything, but just getting the win at the end, being there to finish, which is kind of my MO. So it's nice to finish it off there.
Yeah, it's great you say that because right before we came to the Greenway Checkered, Angel actually brought up while we were in the booth about how you just seem to be Mr. Resilient, like you put yourself in the right place at the right time. And I would say tonight was obviously one of those nights.
Oh yeah, this was definitely survival. I got in an accident early. I was riding around like a modified, then I got another one, so I had the old meatball and had to use my fix, and just stayed out of trouble. I don't think I had any X's after I got fixed, so it was a lot of luck, I guess a little skill, but a lot of luck staying out of wrecks on this track because, heck, half the time you're out of control anyway.
Yeah, most definitely. Angel, anything you would like to contribute?
Well, I would say, John, I don't think there's ever reason to doubt yourself. I think this is like maybe third or fourth win I've broadcasted for you at this point. So for me, I'm just kind of used to seeing you win.
Well, maybe you need to just come to my channel and broadcast races.
Oh, not a bad idea, John. Well, I got to say congratulations. You really did a great job there, of course. As I said, coming out of nowhere. I'm sure you have a couple people you'd like to thank, especially as our title sponsor here.
Yeah, I want to thank all my stream guys. They really stayed in here for the marathon tonight. They said it was like 4 hours. So the guys on the John T. Garrett stream, Fort Worth Screen Printing, Athens Screen Printing, Head Candy, Outrun Esports, Fort Worth Screen Esports. Also just launched a new merch line for my Twitch channel. Just come over there. You can get some merch if you want some. And I'll be announcing in a couple of weeks. I'm trying to get funding to run a real ARCA race at Talladega in April. So if anybody out there is interested, hit me up.
Sounds like a plan. I hope we can get a couple people back in John Garrett here. And sounds like we all need to be taking a trip to Talladega in April.
Hey, don't tempt me.
Sure.
I'll be there.
We'll have a big party.
All right, John. Well, congratulations on the win here. Now you get to go ahead and enjoy it. We'll see you next week at Dover. I know it's another good track for you.
Yeah, that should be another survival race. We'll see how it goes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was your race winner, John Garrett. Big win for him tonight. He did mention about he is, of course, eligible to race in the ARCA series right now. Was able to do some testing laps in Daytona last week. We're gonna go ahead and go over the results for tonight's race. Of course, race winner, we just spoke with John Garrett. Then Brock Whitehead finished in second, Dylan McDonald in third. In fourth place was Daniel Miglin, followed by Chris Reese rounding out your top five. Christian Roos was in sixth. Gibney would come home in seventh place. Jeffrey Vickery in eighth. Wes Fuller in ninth. And the boss man himself, Chris Hubka, would finish in the 10th position.
Ricky Gonzalez brings it home in the 11th position. Patrick Mcquaid coming home 12th. 13th belongs to Kyle Spees. 14th to Chris Wheeler. Nicholas Panico brings it home 15th. Travis Noble 16th. Alfred Denny recoups for a 17th place finish. TJ Robertson 18th. 19th goes to Kyle Gartner and Mike Koravu in the 20th position.
All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next set here. Sorry about it. Press the wrong button there. And 21st ended up being Trey Whitehead, having a pretty good day today, but involved in one of those incidents towards the end really cost him. Joe David would finish in 22nd. Charles Whitehead in 23rd. Zach Woods, he looked like he ended up getting involved in everything those last couple of wrecks, would still come home on a lead lap in 24th. In 25th is the boss man here, Jonathan Leach. Wally Babb would finish in 26th. Matthew Gusty would be your final driver on the lead lap in 27th. Robert Lawrence, the man who dominated the race today, is going to finish in 28th, but at the very least he put in a ton of points, being able to win both of the stages, so that will at least make today still a good points day. Ron Gardner in 29th. Cliff Corvo, it would be in 30th. Cole Martin's 31st. Vernon Reese in 32nd. DJ Daniel, we heard about his internet issues and he was not able to return, would finish in 33rd. Mark Gonzalez in 34th. Mike Sabanovsky would finish 35th. And Brock Savati would round out your field in the 36th position. Well, Scott, we had an exciting one today. As we mentioned earlier, we are going to be at Pocono next week. 200 laps at the famed Pocono. It's going to be a ton of fun. It might be another survival race, but my goodness, I do love that racetrack.
Yeah, Pocono's, I mean, I think the nickname says it all, the tricky triangle. There's a lot of different strategies that go with that track. Each turn is its own kind of beast. It's a long track. It's a fast track. And if tonight is any indication, then I think we're going to have another exciting one on our hands.
Yes, absolutely, we will. Well, once again, this was another production of the Esports Broadcasting Network, a sim racing media company. It was the Ghost Cup Series for the Ghost 200 at Richmond Raceway, presented by Fort Worth Screen Printing. Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. We always appreciate everybody watching. As always, if you haven't already, like, share, comment, do whatever you got to do to remember our races each week at the same time here on YouTube and Facebook. And throughout the week, we have multiple races going on, tons and tons of items to watch, everything from oval to road racing, dirt racing, and we're going to get ourselves an F1 league here starting on Sunday soon. So thank you, everybody, once again. This was Angel and Scott for ESPN. We will see you